NBC Sports ready to bring you the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods, live from the Kansas Speedway, a beautiful $250 million stadium celebrating its third birthday with a racing party for 80,000 fans. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, proud to sponsor the Bud Pole Award, given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race, Jimmy Johnson. Fastest qualifier on Friday, his second Bud Pole Award of the season since 1979. Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $8 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. Of course, Jimmy can't take advantage of that pole position as we look at the starting lineup. Jimmy with a practice crash. He's in a backup car. He'll drop to the tail end of the field on the pace laps. Mike Skinner, great qualifying run, third top 5 qualifying result in 8 tries with the 0-1 team.
And Junior on the inside of row 2 will move up to the pole. New front tire changer today. Tony Uri Jr. goes to the front. Bobby Labonte on the outside.
Rusty Wallace has a top 5 finish in both Kansas races. You heard him say he thinks today might be the day the long winless streak comes to a close.
With Jeff Gordon and Bill Elliott back in row 4. Victory could come from that row.
Yeah, Jeff, of course, winning both of the previous 2 races here at Kansas. While you look at the rest of the starting lineup, who are we going to talk to, Wally?
We're going to try to talk to Sterling. Sterling Marlin, this Wally up in the booth. Can you hear me?
I got you, Wally.
Now, this race car you're driving likes victory lane. This place was pretty rough on you last year. Can you get some revenge here?
Well, I hope so. We had a really good car and happy hour yesterday, and hopefully we get the season turned around right here and get this Coors Light Dodge at victory lane.
Now, yesterday, this track had a lot of grip in it. Does your car like the low lane or the high lane?
Stuff worked good on the bottom yesterday. I never tried the high side, but looks like Michael got the high side worked in for us, so we'll see what we got.
All right, good luck today.
Sterling Marlin going to take the green flag in 29th starting spot today. Of course, Wally referring to the crash here on the race 1 year ago that ended Sterling Marlin's bid for a NASCAR Winston Cup championship when he was injured. So,
how many weeks did he lead it last year? 25 weeks.
Yeah.
He led the championship battle, and there he is on the inside of row 15. But talking to the crew and this morning, and Sterling, they said their car was very, very good.
Michael Waltrip so strong yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race, and last weekend's winner going to come from row 16. Jeff Burton, Texas Terry in row 17. Final guys that get in on time. Tony Raines qualified his backup car after a Friday morning crash. And there's your championship leader for a second week in a row in provisional land.
Tell you what, we're going to have some very good race cars in the back of the field. Not only these group of provisional that you see here, but as we talked about, the pole sitter Jimmy Johnson will be moving back there with these fellas.
Ken Schrader, kind of a home race for him from the St. Louis area, Missouri. Gets the last spot in the field. Johnny Sauter, Larry Foyt unable to qualify. Told you about Jimmy Johnson's backup car after his practice crash. He goes to the back, and Joe Nemechek had to change an engine on his car, and because of the violation of the 1 engine per weekend rule, he will start at the back of the field. Some stories from pit road, as always, before we go green. Dave, you're up.
Well, of course, Benny, we have some very good cars at the front of the grid as well. Mike Skinner is one of them for the second time since filling in for the injured Jerry Nadeau. He sits on the front row. First time was a pole at Richmond. He crashed in a practice crash and had to start at the back. Today, he keeps that second starting spot and could be a threat for the win here. Matt?
Dave, Bobby Labonte will start 4th in the same race car that he finished 2nd with in a D-shaped oval back in June in Michigan, but Bobby struggled during the final practice session. In fact, crew chief Michael Fatback McSwain told me, we've made wholesale changes. Come back and see old Fatback on lap 5, and I'll tell you how strong we're going to be. Marty?
Well, Matt, the last time we saw this car on track for Ryan Newman, surprise, surprise, he dominated the race, but surprise, surprise, did not win the race. It raced at Darlington, dominated the Southern 500, but Ryan hit the kill switch in the middle of the race. The car died. Ryan said, today, I know where the kill switch is. I won't be hitting it. In 2 races here, Ryan Newman has finished 2nd. Both times hoping to improve that by at least 1 position today. Bill?
Marty, Matt Kenseth has led the championship standings since March 9th. That's nearly 7 months. And he'll still be leading the championship standings after the race today. It's been an outstanding season for this team, but they're now coming in off their only finish worse than 22nd all season. 33rd last week at Talladega in a race where Matt started 37th. As Adam pointed out, he starts 37th again today. He also started 37th at Bristol in the spring and finished 2nd, and 37th in July at Daytona and finished 6th. On Friday morning, crew chief Robbie Reiser told me they came here with one thought in mind, to gain back the points they lost last week. And he reminded me you get the most points by winning. Alan.
So true. I talked with Matt a little bit this morning, Bill, and he's ready to go. Race analysis, 1.5 mile track, 400 miles, so it's 267 laps to get around. Pit speed and the pit window, they'll stop short of that 65 number the first set of stops.
And the last stop, they may run 75 laps, depending on the amount of caution flags. That pit window is green flag racing.
You could win a trip to New York City and work as a special correspondent at this December's Winston Cup Award ceremony. Need you to pay special attention to who's leading this race at lap 50. You will need to know that to enter the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes. We'll tell you more about that at the conclusion of lap 50 today. So the championship leaders deep in the field. Jeff Gordon has won both the previous races here. Nobody's ever won the first 3 straight races at a new track before. Jeff and Tony Stewart have both accomplished that. And also Kevin Harvick did it at Chicagoland. So we'll see if Gordon can score the three-peat. How much will the outside lane come into play? What's the winning pit strategy going to be? As they used to say in the old soap operas, the answers to these and other questions as this episode of the Banquet 400 unfolds here in Kansas.
Kansas Speedway.
Oh, Skinner, he's using that high line early on to take the lead.
Tony Stewart way up out of the groove, kept it off the wall. You saw him back of the pack there in the orange car. He hung on to it. Mike Skinner leads. Dale Jr. second, Rusty Wallace third, Jeff Gordon fourth. And you look at Tony Stewart, who has fallen back
19th after starting in the 14th position, so that little slip only cost him 5 spots.
There's a car slipping up there, 1 and 2.
And way at the back of the field.
Well, he is now.
Yeah, he's going to be, yeah.
Dale Jr. for the lead on Mike Skinner. And yeah, that is the Army car, little camouflage paint job here for this weekend. So Junior out in front, now Rusty Wallace in the deuce for second.
Whoa.
Well, these cars are so loose in these early laps. They're all concerned that as they burn fuel and run into these runs on these tires that they will tighten up, and they start them so loose. I think that's what happened to Tony Stewart. Greg Biffle did the same thing the last lap, and somebody did it down in turn 1 on that second lap.
Speaking of Greg Biffle, wow, who's that? Elliott Sadler with a 3-wide move under Bill Elliott and Bobby Labonte. That's for 6th place. Here's the Biffle thing. Watch the 16.
Oh, he got real loose.
Hang on, cowboy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and missed the ball somehow.
Wow.
But look at those cars going by as he tries to get the thing back up to speed.
And that looked like he just got a little bit out of the groove with the pressures down. Grabbed it.
Rusty Wallace for the lead. The Beer Wagons battle.
He said on a pre-race show, victory drought was going to end today. It was going, oh, he is so loose.
If he can keep that thing off the wall today. But you're right, Manny, that you have to start these things a little bit loose or it will get too tight, especially down in 3 and 4 where you can't turn the car. Now, if Junior gets behind the 2 car any closer, that's just going to aggravate that loose that Rusty has.
There's 3rd place changing hands. Jeff Gordon around Mike Skinner. 24 car, 1 spot closer to the point.
And believe me, the 8 car saw that wobble and he knows that.
Yeah.
Dale Jr. says, okay, Rusty's a little bit loose. If I can get right back up to him.
Had Tony Stewart chasing up out of the groove in the opening lap, Matt.
Alan, he keyed the mic and said, Zippy, I tried doing something in 3 and 4 that I did in 1 and 2, and it didn't work in 1 and 2. As we have a lead change, but he did say the gear selection we made is going to be the one that's going to be good for today. All
right, so despite the early wobble, some optimism from Tony Stewart. Meanwhile, Dale Jr. back around.
Junior got right up on the back of Rusty coming off a 4 there to make that pass. So,
Wally, you talked about pressures down. If you're new to NASCAR, the cars start with their tire pressures somewhat reduced from where they might normally be. Picture going out to your passenger car and letting about 5 pounds of air out of it. And they do that why?
Actually, it would feel more than 5 pounds. If you had 30 pounds of air, it almost feels like you've got 7 pounds of air in your tire, because when these tires get hot, they build pressure. So the pressures gain, and you don't want to start with high pressures, because as the tire gets hot, then the tires will have too much pressure and they'll be sliding all over the place. So you start the tires down. The problem is when you go out on tires that are low pressures like that, the cars are really, really wiggly and they're very squirrely. So it's very difficult to hang on to these cars up to about 3 or 4 laps when you get some temperature and you get the pressures built back up in them.
Early troubles.
Derek Cope has an engine problem, but he gets the car down to the apron of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4.
And a change for 4th place.
Now, Skinner's having a hard time right now.
Yeah, he is. 0-1 car.
I talked to him yesterday. They said their car was really, really good in the first practice, and then they tried tuning on it, and in the second practice they really lost the handle. So he was really concerned about that yesterday.
That was Jeff Green we saw going by Skinner, and Bill Elliott following him through. Tell you what, that 43 car has been looking good all weekend so far.
Sure has. Gary Putnam, the crew chief on the 43 Toby this morning. And don't forget, my pit crew is as good as any on pit road. We're not going to lose him any spots today. Okay, Gary, we'll check you out. Elliott.
And you see Elliott got Jeff Green a little bit loose right there coming off of turn 2.
That's 4th place.
That's 4th place.
I was showing you 4th place, my bad. I held up 4 fingers to Wally so we'd know that was 4th place.
I forgot the sign.
it wasn't for the knuckle curve, okay? Yeah. Bill Elliott, I talked to his crew chief Mike Ford this morning. I said, how's your car? He said, it's okay, but you got to understand Mike. Mike's kind of a shy guy. He doesn't say a whole lot. When he said okay, he had this Cheshire Cat grin on his face. And I said, okay, so that means it's pretty good, huh?
All right, here's a battle with a couple of guys that might have a chance to win this thing before the day is over. 8th and 9th. How about this 42, Dave?
He started 15th, Benny, and he's been moving up through this field. Of course, Jamie a little bit pumped up because he's from near here. He's a little bit tight from the center off as we get another lead change.
How about that?
Jamie, in the last 6 races, has scored the 4th most points of anybody in this series, so the 42 on the charge.
Rusty drove the car in the corner just a little too deep in one, but Gordon goes by Junior, takes over 2nd.
So Wallace out in front, Gordon 2nd, Earnhardt Jr. 3rd, and closing on all of them, Bill Elliott in 4th.
Yes, he is.
You hearing something on Junior's car, Dave?
Yeah, you guys talked earlier about Rusty's car being loose. Well, I think Junior and him were in the same situation because Junior radioed that he was loose off, and they loosened him up again to pass him.
And here comes Elliott.
And like I said, when you see that, when you're a driver and you see a guy in front of you getting loose, that's just all the more you want to get up on the rear bumper of that car, because you know if he's loose by himself, he's really going to get loose when you get up behind him.
I think we're going to have a new leader here again in about a lap or 2.
Yes, Jeff Gordon is definitely on the move in that 24 car, as is Bill Elliott. So the question is, can Jeff pass Rusty Wallace before Elliott passes him?
How about that 24 car, Bill?
Yeah, how about that 24 car, Alan? Same one that's been to victory lane in the first 2 races here. Gordon fell in love with this track when he came out here and tire tested before the first race. Said the car was just a little bit tight in practice, but anytime they tried to loosen it up, you had to make sure you didn't go over the edge. So far, so good for the 24. Marty.
Bill Elliott's team came here and tested last week and very happy with the results of that test. Spent 2 days working on nothing but race setup. And before they came to test, Mike Ford, his crew chief, looked at his notes, and Alan talked about how Mike downplays everything. He said he had to look at his notes twice because during the 2 races here before this one, they made 0 changes throughout the race. They had the chassis perfect at the beginning of the day. Bill finished in the top 5 in the 1 race here. The other race, he was leading and lost an engine as he goes under Jeff Gordon for 2nd. Car once again excellent for Bill Elliott.
Just underway in the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods. Rusty Wallace leads. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. New leader in the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods. Bill Elliott just took the lead away from Rusty Wallace a lap ago.
And it was easy. He drove in turn 3, and Rusty, every time a car gets behind him, it loosens him up just enough. He drifts up the racetrack. That car turns under him. But Rusty's car may be really good as this day progresses.
So Bill Elliott charging to the front here. Now the 4th different leader already in the opening 20 laps. Marty?
Alan, one thing his crew chief Mike Ford said this morning also was that they expected the car to be very good on the short runs. Where their downfall was yesterday was the longer runs. Car got way too tight for Bill. They made small changes trying to make it better on the longer run. We'll see if that helps him here, if the 9 holds up and is better the longer they run.
In the box, you saw the change for 7th place with Jamie McMurray going by Mike Skinner. Check the Wendy's race menu for you. What's upcoming as we continue to follow the race for the championship on NBC and TNT next Saturday night. First time under the lights this fall race at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte. It's going to be great. If you've ever been to the night race there, they've just doubled the fun.
Oh, it is going to be spectacular. You do not want to miss that.
7 o'clock Eastern time is the beginning of our broadcast, and make note, the green flag flies pretty quickly after that. And the special pre-race ceremonies, and we look onward, of course, after Charlotte, Martinsville, and Phoenix and Atlanta, all upcoming. With the pre-race ceremony, the Winston Victory Lap, Richard Childress be driving around a 3 car.
Oh yeah, that's he will be the like the pace car.
Yeah,
Childress in the 3 in Earnhardt's home racetrack, the Lowe's Motor Speedway.
It'll be big. Yes. Ryan Newman, check up on him. 6th place now, closing in on Dale Jr. for 5th. Newman started in 11th. His record here is almost as good as Jeff Gordon's.
Almost. He finished 2nd twice.
Jeff won twice.
And I talked to the crew this morning, this 12 car. How's your car? Is it good enough to win? And the reply, oh yeah, it's good enough to win.
Just don't ask him about the fuel mileage. Now, what about our guys who started in the back? Matt Kenseth, the championship leader, and Jimmy Johnson, who was supposed to be the pole sitter. Well, Kenseth has moved up from 37th to 31st. That's not a rapid gain, Bill.
Yeah, just trying to climb up a few spots. He told Robbie Reiser a few laps ago that we're better than we were in practice, which isn't a great endorsement, but he's still a little tied off, hoping that car will get better. Robbie Reiser, normally very optimistic, was not that optimistic in the garage this morning about their chances of coming from 37th today.
And the problem that they have now, Bill, is they're only about 12, 13 seconds in front of the leader, Bill Elliott. Elliott is out there in clean racetrack, just running as fast as that number 9 will go, and these guys are back there dependent on air and trying to get by these other cars, struggling.
And Jimmy Johnson just in front of him in the backup car. Jimmy taking Wally's spot in the booth during yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race. Told us he thought they could do okay in this car. Matt, what's he saying?
Well, he's not happy with the deficit that he's fighting with right now, and also a very tight race car. Started out a little tight just the center of the corner when he tried to make the cut. Now it is tight from the center off. Chad Knaus, the crew chief, already working on a game plan on how to fix that race car on their first stop. What they thought was going to be the best pit stall, Benny, now he says may be a major hindrance because they have pit stall number 1 all the way down pit road. So if they have to pit while they're in the 20s, that could be a huge problem.
And you know what Benny was talking about, that's the biggest thing that was a concern for me yesterday. When you start in the back, you lose all that track position, and you know there's going to be one guy at the start of the race that's just going to be flying. And you've got to be careful not to get a lap down before you can get to the pits and make that adjustment.
And there's that guy that you're talking about that just flying, driving away from these guys, has pulled out to almost a 3-second lead.
Over 2nd place, Rusty Wallace. It's Bill Elliott out in front of the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods at the Kansas Speedway. Bill Elliott is out in front of the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods, NASCAR on NBC from the Kansas Speedway, Kansas City, Kansas. 3rd year of this track's existence, and a sellout crowd of better than 85,000 on hand. Check out our Stacker 2 NASCAR Winston Cup track back, shall we? This racetrack hosting the 11th race this season to offer over $5 million in posted awards.
And I remember when the purses were $30,000, $40,000. Oh, man, how things have changed.
7th largest purse for a NASCAR Winston Cup race this season here today. You drivers like that, I know.
Oh, yes, that's wonderful.
Let's take you through the field a little bit here as we run under green at 50 miles into the race. Marty, how about Bill Elliott?
Looks so smooth out on the racetrack. The only thing he said on the radio, Mike Ford came on at lap 23, said, Bill, how's the car? Bill came back, said, pretty good, Mike. No changes on the next stop. Rusty Wallace is in second. The 2-car up there doing fine. A little bit tight for Rusty. Getting tighter the longer he runs. He wants wedge out, a pound out of the right front tire when he makes his stop. Bill?
Marty, the 24 of Jeff Gordon is tight, not too bad in 1 and 2, but especially tight in turns 3 and 4. They'll try and work on it when they pit. Snyder?
Ryan Newman currently in third position, Bill, and he came on the radio about as animated as you will hear him, saying the car was tight. Then he came on the radio a lap later, said the car is really tight now, guys. Matt?
Jeff Green's the 43rd different driver to drive for Petty Enterprises. Currently runs in the 5th position. The car was pretty good in the final practice session, but now it is tight, especially tight on exit, Dave.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car is tight in the center of the corner, and it's not working well up off the corner. His own words there. I believe it's still just a little bit loose off for Junior. Right behind him, the 42 of Jamie McMurray. He was tight from the center off and on throttle mainly. Remember, he's got some laps here already this weekend. 10th in the Busch race yesterday. Matt?
Jeremy Mayfield, over the past 6 races, he's finished second to 11th 5 times. The car, though, a little tight right now, landing in the 7th position. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett, Sean Parker's crew told me, they started the race out on the loose side, knowing this racetrack would get tighter, and it has tightened up, but the car is still a little free. DJ's happy with it right now, Dave.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte started 4th, but he fell back. They made a lot of changes after final practice yesterday, and Bobby was just feeling the car out. Now feels very good about what they did. Bill?
Matt Kenseth, the championship leader, lost a car here on Friday, had to start 37th in a backup car, slowly climbing his way through the field, 28th right now, but the leader's starting to get him in their sights. He has to drive very carefully right now. Why? Here's the radio traffic a few laps ago.
32.89 leader to 16. That leader's about 3/10 quicker than the whole field.
10-4, I'm pretty tight. I don't want to pop it right front in the long run here, so I'm trying not to abuse it too bad.
His car is especially tight off. Robbie Reiser told him a few laps ago they'll make a track bar adjustment, and they will make an air pressure adjustment to try and help that right front tire.
And I tell you what, Bill, these guys got to be thinking about that right front tire, because in the Busch race yesterday, Michael Waltrip, the leader, ran, what, about 80 laps and lost a right front. Now, they don't know, he might have cut something, might have had a flat, and the tire blew, or he might have worn it out. Anyway,
But you
has to be a concern.
You got to go on the assumption, though, BP, don't you, that he might have had that the tire was worn, that he abused it. You can't go on the assumption he ran over something.
Exactly. That's what I would assume, that he wore the tire out, Bill. Yes.
I talked with Michael this morning. He said there's just no way to know, to go back and tell whether he hit something or whether they just ran through it. This track, there has been a history here over the past couple of years of right front issues.
Well, you're leaning on the right front very hard getting into these corners. You're carrying a lot of speed at this racetrack into the corner, and that right front is the one that's holding the car up when you go down in there.
Joe Nemechek, Kenny Wallace, Robbie Gordon, Mike Wallace, and Tony Raines have all been lapped by the man driving this car, Bill Elliott. He leads the Banquet 400. NASCAR on NBC, live from the Kansas Speedway, where Bill Elliott is running away from the field in the early laps to the Banquet 400. We're just past 50 miles now, and Elliott's opened up a 5-second lead on Rusty Wallace.
And he's putting these guys down. There's Jimmy Johnson, and that is the problem with starting in the back. We talked about, you get a guy that hooked up, he's going to be in your mirror quick.
He sure is, and there's a great battle for the 4th but 3rd position between Jeff Gordon and Ryan Newman. Last year at the end of the race, it was a battle for 1st and 2nd. This time Newman goes to 3rd.
There's Jimmy going a lap down, as Wally was talking about a second ago. That's depressing.
Oh, don't you know that?
Now, the first thing that went through his head, now I'm the lucky dog. I have to stay here.
He's got to stay in front of the target car.
That's right.
Trust me when I tell you, that was not the first thing that went through his mind. He said,
second thing,
doggone it, why didn't I start on the pole and I'd be up there racing with that 9 car? Matt?
And Benny, I know you're not going to be surprised when I tell you that Jimmy did say, I believe there's debris down in turn 1.
Oh, yeah.
But Chad did tell him before he was passed to try to protect that bottom as long as you can, to try to hold up the leader just in case we get a caution.
So Jimmy in 29th place, first car a lap down, which is only going to be good until Bill Elliott catches Ward Burton, and then he's no longer going to be the lucky dog.
Jimmy Johnson has moved up in that 48 car up the racetrack, trying to find some grip, trying to make that car handle better, but Bill Elliott has got that car just wired to that white line between the racetrack and the apron, and he's going somewhere.
Yeah, Bill Elliott is on the gas more than anybody else right now because that car is hooked up. He gets down there in the corner, he gets the car settled, and man, he picks up the gas right away, and he's gone. Bill Elliott is the official race leader at lap 50. You need to know that to enter to win a trip to this year's Winston Cup Awards ceremony. To serve as a special correspondent, if you log on to NBCSports.com, check out the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes. You can find rules and your chance to register every week.
And while you're in New York, you can go to the play and see the Lion King. Bill Elliott has it on this car this week. A new DVD that's coming out.
All right, so what's the character that's on the hood?
Let's see, he has...
No, don't cheat.
You looked at your notes.
Simba.
There you go.
The adult Simba. Jeremy Mayfield has another couple of characters on his car. When he gets up front, we'll tell you who that is.
Have you seen The Lion King?
Oh, about 100 times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, remember we talked about Jimmy Johnson being the lucky dog?
Yeah.
That being maybe the second or third thing he thought about? He's about to no longer be. When Ward Burton gets passed by Bill Elliott, then he's going to be the first car one lap down.
And my guess is he is going to get passed by Bill Elliott.
Dale Jr. has dropped back to 11th position. Dave, something up there?
Well, for those of you hoping that Jr. will make up spots on pit road today, Tony Eury Jr. is going to have a big day. He used to change front tires for Jr., but then, in his own words, they replaced it with someone faster, Phil Dry. Well, Phil had a family matter he had to attend to at home. He is not here today. Tony Eury Jr. back over the wall and changing front tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Knocking the rust off and cracking the knuckles and getting all the kinks worked out to do that. I tell you, you should not underestimate how physically demanding that job is, those guys that go over the wall.
There's Jeremy Mayfield going by the 42 car. Murray goes into the 6th position.
Been a great month for Mayfield, trying to keep the roll going. McMurray and Dale Jarrett right behind him. Murray in 7th, Jarrett in 8th. How about that 19 car, Matty?
Well, Mayfield and his teammate, at least for today, Timone, moving up into the 6th position. Jeremy, his car, very good, much like his teammate Bill Elliott, but the car is getting tighter. They're talking about what changes to make on their first stop.
And Jimmy Johnson just could not stand it anymore, losing too much time to the leader. He was lapped. They decided to come in, make a pit stop, make some changes, and hope that this race stays green. And all the rest of the leaders will have to make their pit stop.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying before. Once Bill Elliott got by Ward Burton, the incentive for Jimmy to stay on track was gone because he wasn't the first car one lap down anymore.
There's a lot of guys choosing the pit right now. Jimmy Spencer's in. Kenny Wallace.
Matt.
And he is certainly down and away, but they made a track bar adjustment to try to fix that tight race car, Benny.
Jeff Green.
Yep, Mike Wallace and Mike Skinner all on pit road here as Jimmy Johnson heads back out on track.
I'm sure Skinner was looking to get on as quick as possible because he's been struggling.
Now, we talked about yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race, a little change in race procedure where the entrance to pit road is concerned.
All right, this is the commitment line. You cross that, no more can you come down and go back on the racetrack. You must continue down pit road. Also, you cannot come inside that way to enter pit road. Both of those will be a penalty this year, this race.
Matt?
Mike Skinner already down and away. They made a chassis adjustment to try to fix his car. It was extremely tight. He was trying to change his line, arcing the corners to try to help that race car as the 9's on pit road, Marty.
Leader Bill Elliott comes down pit road. He radioed Mike Ford. He asked how the car was, and Bill said it's good. Even in traffic, that's a pretty good race car if you ask me. It'll be a 4-tire change for Bill Elliott. No changes on the chassis, Bill.
Jeff Gordon has one of the early pit stalls as you come off the racetrack, got into it without a problem. It's a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment because the car was extremely tight in turns 3 and 4. Came off the track running fourth. He's got 4 tires of fuel. Now Now Matt Kenseth on the pit road, and we know how difficult it has been for him. Driving a backup car, he talked about the track bar adjustment and the air pressure adjustment to try and loosen his car up a little bit. They make a wedge adjustment, come around to the left side. Matt looking for his second win of the season. Left side tires going on. Lost the car here on Friday, trying to protect his position on the track and in the points. Dave?
Jamie McMurray in. The guy's ready to change tires, fill him full of fuel. Remember, complaining that the car was a little bit tight through the center, and especially on the throttle. They're going to make a track bar adjustment or a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment for Jamie. 4-tire stop for McMurray. Marty?
Leader Rusty Wallace comes down pit road. His car is tight. Not bad, though, just a little bit tight in the center, but he said just enough that the 9 car of Bill Elliott is beating me. This will be 4 scuff tires for Rusty Wallace, and some pretty big changes. A pound in the right rear, a pound out of the right front. His teammate Ryan Newman in front of him on pit road. Ryan said the car extremely tight. He describes it as 6 tight for Ryan Newman. They make a wedge and air pressure adjustment, trying to loosen that car up.
Dale Jarrett took over the lead when Rusty Wallace pitted. Also on pit road, Ward Burton, Sterling Marlin, Jeremy Mayfield, Kyle Petty, Michael Waltrip, Mark Martin.
And now the first and second place cars come on the pit road as Dale Jarrett and Jason Leffler both enter pit road. Matt.
Well, Dale Jarrett trying to break through here at Kansas. He's had 2 great runs spoiled by bad luck. If he makes his way to his pit stall, Sean Parker is going to try to fix his race car. It's a little bit loose on entry, but the car is tight from the center up. They were talking about making a wedge adjustment and also shuffling the air pressure out a little bit to try to make that race car better. You can see them making the adjustment now, Marty.
Matt and Ricky Rudd made great progress, started 19th, made his way into the top 10. Car was a little too loose to start with, so they actually went down on the track bar. That will tighten his car up. Most cars on pit road are tight, however. Rudd's a little bit loose. Matt?
And Tony Stewart making his way down the long pit road. He has fought an ill-handling race car all day. He has tried different lines, went up high and made the car too loose, tried to hug the bottom and made the car way too tight. Mike Lingerfeld goes to work on the right front. Besides the air pressure adjustment, Jeff Gooch Patterson already made the wedge adjustment to try to fix Smoke's car. Chuck White pumps the jack on the left side. Luck's going on. Service complete.
Bobby Labonte took the lead and now gives it up to Pitt here, Dave.
Bobby Labonte is in, a little tight and a little loose off. 4 scuffs, air adjustment for Labonte. Dale Earnhardt Jr., again, Toro Unity Jr. going over the wall for the first time this year. He felt he had a right front tire going down, so they made him stay out 1 more lap so that the pit stall behind him would clear. Now an adjustment to try to fix that loose off the corner condition. Junior's gone.
Kurt Busch led for a lap after Bobby Labonte stopped. Now he's on pit road. And that should cycle the lead back around to Bill Elliott once Kurt Busch finishes his stop. You check the ticker at the top of the screen. The name's in yellow. Those who've already been on pit road on this cycle of stops.
Kurt Busch comes in, right side is up, tires off. Man, tighten 5 lug nuts. All those guys can do it. You know, used to 16, 17 seconds for a pit stop. Today, that's a long pit stop at 15.5 seconds. Stop, clock.
A lot of cars, a lot of teams making wedge adjustments. Looks like a lot of guys are taking bite out of the race car because those cars are tight.
So things cycle back around to Bill Elliott, who's out in front of Rusty Wallace by a chunk. Elliott establishing a dominant car in the opening laps of the Banquet 400. We're just about 100 miles into this race. It's Elliott, Rusty Wallace, Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Green who'll be the top 5 after the round of green flag pit stops. Caution, and we're back at Kansas Speedway. Michael Waltrip in trouble off turn 2.
There's somebody else down there too, I thought.
That's him. Are you mean on the inside?
Yeah, I thought there was a car on the inside right there.
Oh, there is. That's Matt Kenseth. That's the championship leader. He lost an engine last week at Talladega, and he's crashed to the inside wall at Kansas.
And some heavy, and they go to the car, but he drives away. Bill?
Yeah, you can see it, Benny. A lot of damage to the radiator. They told him take it to the garage.
Not good.
Ooh.
He's broken an oil line.
Yep, that thing's going to get hot in a minute.
As he tried to drive away, an oil line came back. That was a brief fire that we saw, but did he ruin the engine in that brief second that he ran it without oil.
Yep, I bet he did, BP. Unless he caught it.
They've got problems. Well, Matt's been saying for a while, championship's not over until it's over and they hand me the trophy. Now 2 weeks of trouble in a row after his super clean season so far.
See if we can see exactly what might have happened off turn 2.
It looks like somebody's way up there in the marbles. That's Michael.
Matt spun trying to turn off and keep from hitting him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see there.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. Michael got high. He was running that high line, and looks like he got up in the gray area. Car got loose.
And the grass just did not slow Matt Kenseth's car down. But that concrete wall did. Abruptly.
That's exactly what happened. Matt just turned that wheel down to avoid Michael. Boy, that thing hooked.
Oh, man, did it ever.
Leaders come on to pit road, though not all of the front runners have. Bill?
Well, they were waiting for Jeff Gordon to come down pit road, but he didn't come. Robbie Loomis told him to stay out. We need track position, so Gordon stays on the track.
Bill Elliott did come in. Kevin Harvick came in. Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, Johnny Benson, Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte. Leader was in, Marty.
They had decided from the very beginning out when they were going to come down pit road, they were going to take fuel only, but then when they saw no one else coming with them, they decided to take 4 tires. That was a pretty smart move on Mike Ford's part to take the tires, because they would have been out there with old tires. It would have been really bad.
It's going to cost them a ton of track position, though.
Coming towards you, I can't see and I have no brakes.
Can't see and have no brakes. That's a pretty bad combination.
See, you need to help me. I can't see. Just go and grab him, guys. Just kind of get by the car. Don't let him run you over now.
Don't wave. He can't see. That hood's
Grab the spoiler. Grab the spoiler. Okay,
Robbie
there we
Reiser
go.
in the foreground.
Defender here. Just get him rolling. Keep him rolling here.
They'll take it back to the garage and they'll go to work. See how quickly they can get it back out.
Right to the grass stall where we were. The grass stall where we were.
Garage stall that they
Watch out,
ran all weekend. Once again, let's take a look and see what might have happened.
See, Michael's up there in that high line. He just got too high.
Yeah, just got up in the loose stuff, did a little bit too high, and lost the grip, lost traction. Around he goes, and Johnny Benson goes down on the inside to avoid him, and
On board Michael.
See, he's way out of the groove right there. He was halfway out of the groove.
Hold on to it. You're coming to the caution. Come on around.
And then, like you said, BP, that grass does nothing for friction on those tires.
So the championship leader's in trouble just past 100 miles in the Banquet 400 at Kansas. In the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship picture at lap 69 today in Kansas, Matt Kenseth, avoiding a spinning Michael Waltrip, crashes to the inside wall on the backstretch. Bill?
Well, a number of crewmen work on this car. Matt Kenseth has just kept looking straight ahead, has not turned his head, talked briefly to Robbie Reiser. They're concerned that he may have run the engine after it had lost its oil. They're trying to do the cosmetic damage on the front end. They want to fix the fender braces, but they are going over the power plant as well. There's crew chief Robbie Reiser. Disappointing day last week at Talladega. Another disappointment here. They lost a car on Friday in the first practice session, and now Matt Kenseth in the garage early here at Kansas, and the numbers starting to chip away at that lead. We're under caution at the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
NASCAR on NBC at the Kansas Speedway with the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods. We are under caution for the first time in the race after Michael Waltrip crashed off of turn 2, and Matt Kenseth, trying to avoid Waltrip, spun to the inside and caught the inside wall. Waltrip has continued. Kenseth is in the garage with repairs being made to his Ford.
You know, the restarts were tricky yesterday, BP, when those cars a lap down moved up. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out here, but It seemed like when the pressures were down on the restarts, that bottom line, it was real tricky to stay low, and the guys in the high line really try to pinch the guys down low, and there was a lot of cars getting loose.
And we got to go back to about, who's the first car that pitted? Bill Elliott in 12th?
Yeah, he was 13th after the pit stops there.
But these guys up here have not made a pit stop, so they're out there on the old tires. There's a restart line. We saw that rule violation. Oh,
that.
Mark wanted to get to the inside quickly, didn't he?
Now Mark Martin, Steve Park, and Ward Burton are tail end of the lead lap. Rusty Wallace is the leader.
Oh,
they are
3 wide.
up. Yeah, I told you it was tricky.
Remember that the 2 car is the leader. Those other cars were between Bill Elliott and Rusty Wallace, and when Bill went down pit road, they stayed on track and were the first ones behind the pace car.
Ward Burton way up high. He's going to lose a bunch of spots.
Finally gets the car back under control without losing control, but here's Rusty trying to get work by these lap cars. And now that the leader doesn't give laps back, all these guys know they got to stay in front to get that lap back. They're not going to be the lucky dog like Jimmy Spencer's Mongo was the last time. He was able to get a lap back.
Jimmy was the first car not on the lead lap when the caution came out. Now he's back in 22nd place. Jeff Gordon is in 3rd behind Ryan Newman and Rusty Wallace. How about the leader, Marty?
Alan, when Rusty Wallace came down pit road the last time and changed tires, he took off this right front tire. You see the damage on this tire. It is literally shredded on the inside tread. That could have been something they ran over. It could be a wear issue. Billy Wilburn, the crew chief, did not tell Rusty about it. They think they maybe ran over something. Rusty said nothing about hitting anything on the racetrack. We saw right fronts be a problem yesterday when Michael Waltrip hit the wall. We talked about it earlier. It could be a problem today as well.
Man, that is a scary looking situation.
Yeah, it's not a problem you want.
So now these guys are going to have to pit about 55, 60 laps just to make sure they take care of that tire.
Rusty Wallace and Ryan Newman, the Penske Racing South teammates, in 1st and 2nd. Jeff Gordon is 3rd, Jeff Green 4th, Jamie McMurray 5th. Rest of the top 10 are Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, and Jason Leffler. Bill Elliott has lost a few spots after this restart. He's back to 16th place. He took the green in 12th. So in a big jam up of traffic when Ward Burton got out of the groove and slid back, it caught Bill Elliott out and he lost a few positions.
All right, Ryan Newman talked to his crew about his tires. Here's what he said.
Ryan, tire wear wise, looks like we're just a tick to the heavy on the left front, and right rear starting to wear a little bit more than the right front. It looks like definitely the left front's giving up, and then after a while the right rear finally starts to give up. But in general, that's on a full fuel run there, and they don't look bad, but definitely more than last year.
10-4, this here feels like it's going to wear the right rear just a little bit more through the whole run.
Well, that's actually good.
Yeah, that's real good.
Because they're we got trouble in 2.
Turn 1, turn 2. It's Dave Blaney. Don't come back across traffic. Wow.
Unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot to do with that.
So, a lot of cars, very fortunate, they aren't going to get a lap back.
Hi, Dave.
All the cars in front of leader Rusty Wallace. Mike Skinner, Mark Martin, Joe Nemechek, Steve Park, Elliott Sadler, and John Andretti will all get a free 1.5-mile pass by being in front of leader Rusty Wallace.
And a guy that doesn't like the lucky dog rule is going to be the benefactor.
Well, we should ask him if he likes it now.
We should. Jimmy Johnson. I wonder how he likes the rule now.
Jimmy told us yesterday during our NASCAR Busch Series broadcast he liked the not racing back to the caution.
Stay out.
But he did not necessarily care for someone being given a lap back.
I guess he could turn it down.
Yeah. Think he will?
I don't think so.
Watch out for that. Front end of Blaney's car just took off on him. So second caution is out. Not long after the first. And they've got some damage there on the 77. He'll probably be joining Matt Kenseth back in the garage in a minute.
I wonder if they've tried to fire that thing yet.
Yeah, that's a good question. They've got to get all the lines and everything hooked up, make sure that everything is the way it should be, and then start the engine, because what they're doing now might be just time thrown away because he might have hurt the engine.
Well, what Bill told us before was that they were working on the body work and getting the suspension clear so it'll roll, while some other people were working under the hood to check the damage out. Pit stops, most of the leaders coming in. Go ahead, Marty.
Leader Rusty Wallace, a lot of debate as to whether or not they would pit. Decided to come in. It'll be a 2-tire change, fill them up with fuel. No changes on the chassis. Rusty is happy. Clean the grill, Dave.
Jamie McMurray was very loose. They're only going to make a wedge adjustment in fuel. They talked about changing 2 tires, but found out a teammate had not liked that change, so they stuck with none. Matt?
Dave, an air pressure adjustment on the first stop didn't help Jeff Green's race car. So this time, a track bar adjustment, a close call between the 7 of Jimmy Spencer and Green. 2 tires for the 43.
Of the cars who stopped, Ryan Newman got out first, but there were several who did not pit, and it looks like Dale Jarrett is going to take over the race lead by not stopping. See the order off pit road, Newman there and Jamie McMurray, and then Rusty Wallace. And there's your new leader, Dale Jarrett. Marty.
And Alan, they were only coming, Ryan Newman's team was, if his teammate Rusty Wallace came. They decided fuel only. Ryan really liked that set of tires, wanted to keep them on the race car.
Dale Jarrett is now the new leader of the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Back at Kansas, cleanup continues under the caution in the Banquet 400. And for those of you that have been watching for the Banquet Watch and Win sweepstakes, the winning phrase
is,
survey says, drum roll please. I promise you it's coming. Here it is, Bank on Banquet. That's the winning phrase you've been looking for in the Banquet 400 Watch and Win sweepstakes. Log on to www.banquet400.com for official rules and to enter the winning phrase. You could win a VIP race banquet in the infield at the 2004 Banquet 400.
Cool.
And I'll tell you, this is a great place to be. Wonderful racetrack, great event, great town.
Oh, it's a terrific
to
town.
come to. So check it out at banquet400.com, and remember, bank on Banquet. You'll need to know that to enter to win.
See, Rusty Wallace came in the pits first, came out 11th and on down, but Ryan Newman was the first car that pitted to go back on the racetrack, so that's why he's ninth. Eight cars decided to stay out, not pit.
Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, Bill Elliott, Todd Bodine, Terry Labonte, Sterling Marlin, Kyle Petty, and Steve Park would be the drivers of those cars. Bill.
Alan, they continue to work on Matt Kenseth's car down here in the garage, and the reason they have not fired it, they didn't have the radiator in there. They had to cut away the sheet metal and the nose piece and then try and fit the radiator back in there. So they just now got that wedged in there. They're going to need some brackets. They've got saws, torches, all kinds of equipment working on this car. Matt continues to sit in the driver's seat. A few minutes ago, he lowered the shield so you could not even see his eyes. You know he's very disappointed and obviously upset, so he put down the shield so people could not see and read what he was thinking. So Matt in the car while his crew continues to work on it. The laps going, the clock ticking.
Right now, the cautions are helping.
Oh, yes, because they're able to do the work. They get about 4 laps for the price of 1 on the caution versus green flag. He's now only 19 laps back. He's certainly not going to win. He's the last car, 43rd right now.
A day like this, though, is all about minimizing damage for Kenseth. Green flag.
Green.
Dale Jarrett is the leader. Second car in line outside of the screen. The 32 of Ricky Craven, tail end of the lead lap, along with the 35 of Hamilton Jr. and the 16 of Biffle. So Dale Jarrett, the 7th different driver to lead this race already. And I'll tell you what, when this thing gets down to the closing laps with all the pit strategies we've already seen played out,
it's going to be unbelievable.
I mean, there's going to be some serious gambles played down on pit road. Here are some of the guys who were leading before. Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon, Jamie McMurray and Ryan Newman. Kind of pinned deep in the field. While we watch some of this action, Dave Blaney has come from the medical center. Marty?
And he's on the other end of the garage from the championship leader, Dave Blaney. What happened in your accident?
Driver just lost it in mine. We're just trying to stay close in that lap down group, and Just got in there on the outside and just lost hold of it. I thought I had plenty of grip and just got after it too much too soon, I guess.
He surveyed the damage, said, boy, there sure is a lot of it.
Hey, at least he was honest. Jeff Green, that 43 car, he's hanging in there tough today.
That's great to see, isn't it?
It sure is.
The Petty organization has struggled a lot this year. And great to see them having a good, solid run. I hope it continues that way all day for them. Look at this traffic jam. Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, 24 and 2, are 10th and 11th. The 23 of Kenny Wallace is not on the lead lap. He's back in 36th place.
Wow, Rusty is still loose.
Grab a handful of steering.
Yeah, and you know, there's a bump going down into turn 1, and if you hit that bump just the wrong way, that's exactly what the car does. It wiggles like that, and you kind of wiggle up the racetrack. You got to wait till it settles down before you can get back on the gas. So that may have been a little bit of that bump down there.
18 and 20 also in this race for position as Jeff Gordon works on Jamie McMurray for 9th. Check that for 8th. They both just went around Kyle Petty, who, remember, did not pit under the caution. So now Gordon is the farthest. Check that again. Brian Newman is still a spot or two in front of him. 09 car Mike Wallace, 35th place, 1 lap down.
At the end of this race, all these drivers are going to be screaming, I don't care what you do, just get me out front. Obviously, they do care because they're going to have tires and be able to finish the race.
So Gordon and McMurray and Wallace racing there for 8th, 9th, and 10th, while Bill Elliott charges forward. This is 3rd place. He's taken from Todd Bodine.
Todd's having a good run.
He is having a terrific run.
Todd pitted at lap 70. Marty did not stop this last caution, correct?
Yes, did not stop this last caution. Very happy with the car. They've had a pretty good car all day long, actually. A little tight in, a little loose off for Todd Bodine right now. He came on the radio right after this green flag run, started and said, hey, this dog will hunt today. BP feels like he's got a great car.
Fantastic.
I'll tell you, who's another guy that's really fast right now on this speed chart is Bobby Hamilton Jr. Running some pretty good laps. Just got his lap time.
He's on the tail end of the lead lap, but he's driving away from the leader, Dale Jarrett.
There's a race between Rusty Wallace and Jamie McMurray for 9th and 10th.
Race didn't last long, did it?
Give it to Rusty. It's kind of a home race for the Wallace clan. St. Louis, Missouri. This would be one of the closest Winston Cup races to them.
Also McMurray from Joplin, Missouri.
And while you talked about Bobby Hamilton Jr. getting back on the lead lap, Dave can tell us how he got off the lead lap earlier.
Well, Alan, it was lap 20 when they realized that they had a plug wire that had disconnected from the motor. They brought him on to pit road, got that plug wire fixed back up, and have been running at full song ever since. These guys ran very strong yesterday in happy hour, and I had a spotter from another team tell me this morning, you should have seen the way that car cut through traffic, and I confirmed that with crew chief Harold Holly this morning. The car does handle extremely well.
Yeah, that car is going very well right now, and if he can catch a break, he's going to be right back in this race.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. driving here for the same team he drives for in the NASCAR Busch Series, the Renzi brothers, and their organization. It's kind of a feeling out effort. They're hoping to perhaps go Winston Cup racing, not next season, but the season after, 2005.
Yeah, but this is a start. They'd like to run this race and a half a dozen races maybe next year, and as they try to compete for that NASCAR Busch Series championship. And as you said, Alan, 2005, do the deal.
Dale Jarrett, your leader in the big brown truck. And the red Dodges of Ray Evernham trying to chase him down with Mayfield and Elliott in 2nd and 3rd. Now, Jimmy Johnson got a lucky dog pass here. A little bit ago at a caution flag. Matt, he's back on the lead lap and up to 20th.
One of the fastest cars on the racetrack now, and it's been a work in progress. Back on lap 71, he adjusted with brake bias, spring rubbers. They closed up a shock and made a track bar adjustment to try to loosen up the race car. The last stop, 3 rounds in the right rear, 2 rounds in the left rear, 4 next 10 to 15 laps, though, will be the most crucial. If it starts to go tight again, this is when it will go tight. Currently, the car is neutral. Chad Canal says we are back in this ball game.
When we're talking about that brake bias, we can adjust the brakes from inside the car. If your car is a little bit tight or it won't turn, you dial that knob to where it gives you some more rear brake, and that actually will loosen the car up or neutral the car up when you hit the brakes. You can go the other way as well. If you're loose in, put some more front brake in it, and that'll slide the nose a little bit when you push the brake. So that's about the only thing a driver can do to help adjust on that.
Other than change his line around the racetrack.
See Jimmy there racing with Jimmy Spencer and Johnny Benson for that position. Jimmy, up here during our NASCAR Busch Series broadcast yesterday when he sat in Wally's seat, talked about the no racing back to the caution rule. I mentioned this earlier. Said the no racing back to the yellow is a great thing, but the part of the rule where you give the first guy, not on the lead lap, back a free pass around the leader, what we've been calling the lucky dog pass, if you will. He said he didn't think that was a great idea. His team co-owner and teammate Jeff Gordon had similar comments to us about that earlier in the weekend.
We've got to balance out putting entertainment value into it and actual racing value. And to me, by taking away, putting that out there where you get your lap back when the caution comes out, I think that we're leaning too much towards the entertainment side and not enough towards actual racing.
Hey, Wally and Benny, something to think about. I talked to Jeff yesterday after happy hour, and he said if you're going to have the lucky dog rule, maybe you should put the driver at the tail end of the lead lap. Look at the battle on the track.
As for second place,
what do you think about that?
Well, isn't that what they do?
Yeah, they do that anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you put him at the tail, they want to put him at the tail end, put him in front of the leader, so you have to actually race to keep him.
Stay there. I got you. Like Bobby Hamilton did on his last restart. He was right in front of Dale Jarrett. He's raced there, and they're saying he deserves to get that lap back. Well, I agree. He certainly does deserve it. That's something to think about.
It's been going a couple of weeks, and I think everybody's opinion is still a little bit out on whether they like that or not. But some guys have benefited from it a lot more than others so far, like Ryan Newman.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I liked it a lot yesterday.
There you go.
These guys all like it when you get it.
Dale Jarrett is your leader with the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods. Just past 150 miles at the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Elliott Sadler in trouble as we come back to the Kansas Speedway.
Got a fire truck right there at you, if you can hear me.
Well, we talked about those right front tires. We saw one. Could this be the start of something else? Because he obviously has blown a right front tire. Could be from a puncture.
And once again, the safety vehicle is rolling quickly by no longer racing back to the caution flag.
And like the rule or not, that's the benefit of the rule right there.
Exactly.
That's what's the most important thing, is that these guys can get to that car that quick.
That's a hard hit.
Well, Elliott jumps out. Well, doesn't jump out. He is out.
That's 2 weeks in a row for Elliott.
Let's take a look. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely a blown right front.
See the tire coming apart. That's the right window out of the right door. And you see, well, there's the fuel pump fire. On the Ford, the fuel pump is on the left side.
Yep.
That's the oil pump fire. That's oil that has ruptured a line that's coming back on the exhaust system that is causing that fire.
Either way, it's really hard to breathe inside that car right now.
Here come the leaders to pit road. Stops will be at the completion of lap 106. Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott, Jeremy Mayfield, Terry Labonte, and Todd Bodine are the top 5 coming in. Go ahead, Marty.
Elliott middle of the screen now, and as you see in second position, Todd Bodine pitting in front of him, so he'll have to work his way around him. 4 tires and fuel. Bill wants no changes on the car. Dave?
Perfect stop for Jamie McMurray. Half around the wedge, still a little bit loose for him. A 4-tire change for McMurray. Matt?
Dale Jarrett told Sean Parker, I need to have my car just a little bit tighter. So he's going to try to fix that with air pressure in the right front.
I saw some 2-tire stops. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Johnny Benson, Jimmy Johnson. I caught with just taking right side tires.
Well, the problem is that they're not going to be able to change they can change just rights, but they're not going to be able to do the lefts the next time. They've got to change rights each time they stop.
Yeah.
All right, here's the race off, and it's Rusty Wallace. Unanimous. 24.
Yeah. These are all the two-tire guys.
Oh, where's finally Harvick comes off.
48.
And Jimmy Johnson, he's back in the race.
Terry Labonte sneaking in there. Remember, he had been running up front because he didn't pit under that last caution.
Marty, how did the two tires look that time? Have you been able to look at them?
I looked at both of them, BP. They looked very good, the ones that came off Rusty Wallace's car. Billy Wilburn, the crew chief, came on the radio, said, what do you need? Rusty said, track position. They gave it to him. Two-tire stop.
Okay.
So we're under caution for the third time in the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra. Championship leader Matt Kenseth continuing to be a big story, involved in an early crash, still in the garage getting repairs. NBC Sports, live at the Kansas Speedway, where the Banquet 400 is under caution. Yesterday here, NASCAR Busch Series ran a 300-miler, and David Green won his third race of the season. Michael Waltrip dominated, lost the right front tire, leading with 5 to go. Bobby Hamilton Jr. took over. His car hiccuped on the restart. He got crashed in turn 1 on the final lap. It was wild. David Green takes over the championship lead.
How about that points battle, huh? Jason Keller in 5th, 59 back.
6 races to go there. Craftsman Trucks ran in South Boston, Virginia yesterday. Dennis Setzer, 3rd win of the season. Championship there tightened up. Brendan Gaughan spun late, lost a bit of his lead to Travis Kvapil. Craftsman Trucks race in Texas next Saturday. They've got just 4 races remaining in their season. There was some post-race discussion over the finishing order and that NASCAR Busch Series race yesterday. We'll get into that a little bit later on and take you through it because it was kind of wild and a little bit confusing. We'll break it all down here in a little while. 1 to go is the signal at the start-finish line. Jason Leffler is the leader, did not pit. That's why he is in the #1 spot on the track. Bill?
Alan, they continue to work on Matt Kenseth's car. They did get the engine fire. They seem pleased with that, so they shut it back off. What they're doing now is they're using basically some sheet metal band-aids. They're pop-riveting them to the hood and to the body itself, so the hood will not fly off. It's all bent out of shape, so obviously it doesn't form-fit back to the body. But when they're done with that, they're going to take it off the jacks and then roll it out and see what they've got. But the work continues. You win the championships on the track, Alan. You need to make sure you don't lose them back here.
Bill, have they started the engine yet?
Yes, BP, you weren't listening, you big dummy. I said they started it a little while ago, and they seem happy with that.
Okay.
So you just you don't listen to me, do you?
No, I don't. I guess
is it something I said? Is it my breath? What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. I wonder why they were riveting the hood down if they hadn't started the engine yet.
Yeah, they started it, and they seem pleased with that.
Okay,
Junior gave
good.
them the big thumbs up, so we'll see what happens when they roll it out of here.
Yeah. They've been in there since about 40 minutes ago. And the fact that we've run a lot of caution flag laps since they went behind the wall has helped lessen the damage, though right now they're about to be 43 laps down, and Matt Kenseth is in last place at the moment in the Banquet 400. Jason Leffler, the leader. Rusty Wallace, 2nd. Jeff Gordon, 3rd. Kevin Harvick, 4th. Jimmy Johnson, 5th. Followed by Terry Labonte, Bill Elliott, Johnny Benson, Dale Jarrett, and Jeremy Mayfield.
Green flag, green flag.
Remember that Leffler in the 0 did not pit under this caution. Wallace, Gordon, Harvick, Johnson, just right side tires only. Bill Elliott's got 4 fresh ones.
And those tires here in Robbie Gordon's car helped a lot right there. Now he's on the tail end of the lead lap.
And a battle for the lead as Rusty Wallace goes under Leffler. And Mike Skinner in that 0-1 car trying to stay with this group. And Leffler's coming back on the outside. He zings it down in turn 1. Rusty still can't get the lead.
Jason Leffler, 28-year-old from Long Beach, California, ran the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup season for the Chip Ganassi team. Spent last season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and the first part of this season.
Whoa, Rusty got a little bit loose. Skinner got up right behind him, loosened that car up, and you can see you lose a lot of positions when you got to catch a race car like that.
And Jimmy Johnson was able to get by Rusty. And that 48 car also, Jeff Gordon gets by.
So Johnson to second, Gordon to third, Rusty back to fourth. Elliott Sadler involved in a hard crash a minute ago. Marty's with him.
Yeah, Alan, I think he's got to stop scaring us like that. What happened?
We just blew a right front tire. I'm not sure why. Just no warning at all. Went into turn one and went head on it to the wall. But I'm okay again. I got to thank Randy LaJoy and his seats. That's 2 weeks in a row. No problems at all. NASCAR, all their safety devices. I had a hard time getting out of the car on fire, so that hatch can't come soon enough, so I'll be looking forward to that. But tell everybody at home I'm okay, and maybe better luck next week.
Sure does know how to make a spectacular exit, doesn't he, guys?
44 minutes, and Matt Kenseth is back on track.
And the reason that they have to get the car in reasonable shape because NASCAR has a minimum speed that these cars must run, and that is 35.44 seconds. And they know that every team down there will be looking at Matt Kenseth and make sure that he does run that fast when he gets back on the racetrack. They only have one shot to get up to minimum speed.
Check out the point lead. It was 4:36 after Dover. Lost a chunk last week at Talladega with the engine failure, and that's how it is as things stand now, with Matt Kenseth showing in last place.
He's got the whole field behind him coming in a hurry.
And you saw while we were talking to Elliott Sadler that Jimmy Johnson, that Lowe's car, has gone to the lead. Matt, how about the 48? Is he happy now?
BP, right before that caution, it came on the radio, said, guess what? It's tight again. They made that tire change on that last stop and an air pressure adjustment to try to free up that race car even more, but he has what he's needed all day. Clean air and track position.
Challenge for fourth. Rusty Wallace trying to take it away from Kevin Harvick. 2:29. And Bill Elliott coming to the outside of Terry Labonte. They're all racing for that spot.
Now Bill has got to figure out which one of these guys does he follow. Well, better go behind that 29.
That 2 car is way too loose to be following.
Rusty's going to be worn out at the end of the day if he has to chase that thing all day like that.
Yeah. So Rusty's going to move up the racetrack a little bit. Wow, is that thing loose?
Elliott by, Terry Labonte by, Johnny Benson in the 10 coming up next. Marty, go ahead. As I say, Rusty's got his hands full.
In song, you guys, and Wally, you can probably talk about this. They wanted to start the car loose on purpose because they know the longer you run, the tighter these race cars get. But it is such a handful for Rusty right now. He's barely hanging on, Dave.
Johnny Benson right behind him, Marty, was one of the cars that stopped for 2 tires. That actually works right into his plan. They've been untightening that car all day long, and by putting 2 right sides on, they untighten it just a little bit more, Alan.
And that was what we did towards the end of our race yesterday, is the car was loose at the beginning, because exactly what Marty said. You know that the car is going to get tighter when the fuel burns off, but you just have to be able to hang on to it for that first 5 or 10 laps after you make those changes or after you make a pit stop, because it is a handful.
It isn't too bad on green flag stops when the field is scattered out, but when these caution flag restarts, when all these cars are jammed up together and all that air is stirring around your car, it can be a handful.
See, now look at Johnny Benson knows that Rusty's loose. So Johnny's going to drive right into the back of that 2 car to try to take some air off that spoiler. Now, the best way to do it is to get really close to him, getting into the corner. It actually lifts the rear of the car up with a 2 car, but he couldn't quite get that close getting in.
Benson's crew chief, James Ince, not here with that 10 team this weekend, on a little leave of absence to deal with some issues. Jay Guy, the car chief, has climbed down from the spotter stand, and he's running things on pit road for them today. Kevin Harvick, Terry Labonte, 5th and 6th place they're racing for. Old Texas Terry there, Bill.
You know, I was walking through the garage area this morning, Alan, and I saw Randy Dorton, who heads up the engine department at Hendrick Motorsports, and we talked about their cars, and he said, hey, keep an eye on the 5 car today. That could really be the sleeper. He's really running good. Right now on the bumper of the 29, but Terry Labonte, a lot of experience, a win earlier this year at Darlington. This could be his kind of track as he shoots by the 29 on the inside.
Yeah, Harvick really drove that car in there in turn 3. That car slid up to the top of the racetrack. I think he lost a little bit of grip, but that was just enough for Terry Labonte to dive underneath him.
Now, we talked about Matt Kenseth just a moment ago being able to run that minimum speed. I just checked the scoring monitor, and you know what? He's running almost as fast as the leaders, only about a half second slower, so he's definitely up to that minimum speed.
But is 46 laps down in 43rd place.
Yeah.
As we check on Matt, you see all the repairs done to the front of that car. Bill talked about riveting the metal in place to keep the hood down. Tons of tape. A lot of suspension work. And now for Matt Kenseth, one of the most unpleasant racing experiences, limping around all day.
That 9 car sure hasn't lost any grip today.
No, he hasn't. Elliott goes by Jeff Gordon in the 2nd spot. A couple of seconds behind the leader, Jimmy Johnson. All right, what's Robbie Reiser saying down there, guys?
Well, he's explaining how he got back to the garage. How bad is the car, Robbie? Will it make it to the end?
Yeah, we should be able to make it to the end. We just, we got a lot of stuff wrecked up in there. We just fixed the best we could, and we're just trying to log laps here to get to the end, but should be okay.
Matt, you've had such great luck this year until the last 2 weeks, Rob.
Well, we'll just have to bounce back and go get him at Charlotte. That's all we can do.
Did he give you any indication as to what happened?
No, I didn't even ask. I just went to work on it.
All right, man, thanks a lot. Matt just continued to sit in the car, had 2 brief conversations with Robbie. Each time he would raise the visor, then he lowered it back down. It was basically saying, please leave me alone. I'm in my own world right now.
There's a bunch of smoke on that right front on the 17 car down in turn 1 last time. I guess it's rubbing the right front fender.
Jimmy Johnson is out in front, but Bill Elliott is closing in. It's 1.8 seconds now. We'll check it when we come back to the Kansas Speedway on NBC. NASCAR on NBC with live coverage of the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods from the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. 80,187 seats here, all of them sold, all of them full for today's race. I'll bet they consumed some Banquet chicken a little bit, huh?
I wouldn't doubt that a bit. Bill Elliott's about to consume Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. What, Matt, what about the 48? He's slowing down.
Well, PP, about 10 laps ago, he came on the radio and said the car is free, which is great. Chad Knaus, as you can see, Bill Elliott working on the low side. Jimmy's going to give him the low line, but he said the car is a little tight in 3 and 4. Chad said, we need to keep thinking ahead to that last segment. We need to work on this car. We need to be better at the end, Marty.
Well, Matt, Mike Ford came on the radio, the crew chief for Bill Elliott, a moment ago, said, anything we can do for you, Bill? And he came back and said, nope, you guys have already done a great job because I've got a terrific car. It's just amazing to me, Wally, that they have not made a single adjustment on this race car in 2 years of racing here at Kansas. And so far today, no adjustments on the car either, just perfect for Bill Elliott as he passes Jimmy Johnson for the lead.
That is amazing. I want that car.
Yeah, everybody does.
So Bill Elliott back out in front. This will be the 3rd time today that he's led, and he has paced the most laps so far today, 46 of the 131 that we have run. We will hit the 200-mile mark at lap 134. Time for the Singular Wireless Race Talk poll. There's been a lot of talk about whether or not the system used to determine the NASCAR Winston Cup champion should be changed. So we want your votes. If you could make one change to the current system, what would it be?
More points to the winner. Maybe for qualifying, the pole winner gets some points.
More points for leading the most laps.
Or do nothing about it.
How about all the above?
Oh, no.
No,
well,
that doesn't count.
All of the above, including nothing, doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, we'll check your votes and then fill you in on a couple stats later to let you know how it's worked out over the years. Rusty Wallace trying to take 7th spot away from Jason Leffler. All those cars Rusty came off pit road with earlier have left him.
Yeah, right now Rusty, the last time by, ran 32.60 seconds. Bill Elliott ran 32.10 approximately. So Rusty right now half second slower than Bill Elliott. Marty?
Well, Benny, we talked about his car being loose early in the run. If he can hang on to it, it gets better the longer he runs. And here's what Rusty had to say on his radio.
As loose as a goose, I'll tell you.
10-4 on the goose. Clear by 2.
Doing real good. Just right. Hang on there, buddy.
10-4 on the Goose. That's spotter Earl Barber, and also helping Rusty today, Roger Penske is his second spotter. The car is starting to come to Rusty right now, getting a little bit better the longer they run.
And that's the thing. He needs a long green run to benefit off of having that car loose at the start.
Did he say loose as a goose?
That's what he said.
That should be our signal.
We've had a goose. We've had a chicken.
Yeah.
How about a duck?
Cue the duck.
All right. Cue the duck. Time for the Aflac NASCAR Winston Cup Trivia Quiz. Who is the only driver who listed Kansas as his home state to win a NASCAR Winston Cup race? Hint, you got to go a long way back to this, like all the way back to the very beginning.
The very first race winner.
Yes, sir.
What was it, Roper, wasn't it?
Jim Roper. Strictly stock race, what is now the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. 1949 Charlotte Speedway, which was a dirt track then, back in North Carolina. Glenn Dunaway actually took the checkered flag but was disqualified for a tech violation. The win went to Jim Roper of Kansas, who took home the $2,000 winner's purse.
And he drove the car from Kansas to Charlotte, won the race, and drove it back to Kansas.
Remember what kind of car it was?
Cadillac or Lincoln?
It was a hot rod Lincoln.
Hot rod, yeah, I was thinking of one of those big cars.
How about the duck feet? You guys didn't. I like those feet. You see that?
It's nice.
Missed it.
Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett. Jarrett just taking 8th away from Rusty. Here comes Ryan Newman back through. That's 13th place. He takes away from Jamie McMurray in the 42. Marty Ryan got pinched in traffic a little while ago, and he's not really made the kind of progress through traffic he did earlier.
And he's had other struggles too, Alan. He actually asked our chief spotter, Bill Johannes, to look down on his car to see if there was some debris. The temperature shot up to about 250 on the 12 car, stayed that way for about 10 minutes. Now it's back down to 225. The car is coming to Ryan chassis-wise, so all is well in the 12 camp, but there was a moment or two of panic about 15 minutes ago.
You're talking about the water temperature in the car, because anything above about 240, 250, the water gets so hot that it starts boiling and losing some water. When you do, then you're in trouble. As long as you keep all the water in there, it has a chance to cool.
Just past halfway in the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods. Bill Elliott once again opening up a whopping lead of nearly 3 seconds. Jimmy Johnson in the runner-up spot for now. The awesome one, Bill Elliott, Dawsonville, Georgia, out in front of the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods at the Kansas Speedway. We're just past halfway in the event. Elliott has led 59 of the 144 laps that have been completed. I think it's 60 of 145.
And he's going to lead a few more, too, by the looks of it.
Certainly is. But I tell you what, Kurt Busch, what a day he's having. There you see him in the 97 car, and he's running fast. But look what he's putting up with while he's doing it.
That's inside the car. And that oil is coming from the oil tank that sits behind the driver. And what's happening is it's dumping out all over the inside of the car. Then it's getting onto the pipes and smoking. And unfortunately, Kurt is inhaling that every lap.
Yeah, that lid for the oil tank is for some reason is off. But look at all the oil where it's thrown up on the roof of the car. Matt, what's going on with the car?
Well, they have been battling an oiling problem most of the day. Jimmy Finnick, you were looking at the video from the in car. What's the problem?
Well, we probably put too much oil in at the beginning of the race. We had an oil pump problem this morning, so we changed it, fired it up, and I think we got too much oil in it. But it's the last time we looked at it, it looked like it was calmed down, but we couldn't get in it or clean it out. So there was oil inside the race car, but I believe we stopped all what was coming out.
I guess, well, where is it coming out of? Is there an overflow valve in that thing?
There's a vent. Some guys run that vent back into the trunk of the car, but it looks like that vent on the 97 car might be underneath that cover that's somehow loose.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because a lot of them go to that. They run it through the back, so that doesn't happen. Doesn't get inside the car.
Now check out who the leader's coming up to put a lap down. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who started this race in 3rd position, led twice for 9 laps early. Not going well right now. Matt? I'm sorry, Dave.
Yep, and then it got real bad, Alan. On lap 83 pit stop, they unhooked the rear bar because it went from too loose to too tight. And then they put on 4 tires, made a wedge adjustment, just a little bit tight, but then it went real loose on him. And most recently, he's talked about being loose in the center and a word he's used before, bouncy, when his car is real bad.
And then he went a lap down.
Bouncy. And we were talking about earlier in the show, the race today, talking about starting the race with uninflated tires. And when they build up, if they get too much air in them, that's the word that they use a lot, is bouncy.
So Junior, 29th place, first one a lap down. How did you vote on our Singular Wireless Race Talk poll about what change you might like to see made to the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship system? More points to the winner and nothing led the way. A little stat for you just to kick around and think about. In 29 years, the current championship system has been in use. The 14 of those 29 times,
half the time,
the champion did not win the most races.
Yeah. When I won a championship back in 1973, I only won one race, but consistency was my key that year, just kind of like Matt Kenseth has been this year.
So the question, Jason Leffler's out of gas. He did not pit on that last caution at 106, Bill.
And I bet right about now he wishes he had.
Yes.
Yeah, he's out of gas, so he'll come coasting down here. He's out of gas and the engine is off. There's no tack. He's near the pit end, so there's no problem getting to his stall, coast to his stop. Car not running, so they'll try and help him get it started here. Pouring the fuel in. Tires coming off. Come around to the left side. They're calling for him to pour something into the air. Cleaner to try and give it a little boost here. Trying to get it started, just sitting there on the jack, trying to give it some air in through the overflow. That's not helping. Now they're going to try and spray some ether in there. This car was having a great run. He's got to restart it. Can he keep it started? Yeah, that's heartbreaking right there. That's one of the best runs that car's had all year. Well, out the window.
That's right, Bill. That car was hooked up today. Very good. Those guys were really pumped. And man, that just, when you run a car out of gas, you lose a lot of laps.
Yeah, that's 2 and possibly a third lap down before he gets it back up to speed.
Johnny Benson up there in the 3rd spot.
So Jason Leffler rejoins the chase, while Bill Elliott chases away from the field. 6.2 seconds ahead of Jimmy Johnson. Green flag pit stops not all that far away. Caution flag is out as we come back to the Kansas Speedway. The great run John Andretti was having in the Petty 43.
Jeff Green.
I'm sorry, Jeff Green, thank you.
Right front tire, but he did it the same spot that Michael Waltrip did it in the Busch race yesterday. Matt, did you say anything?
BP about a lap ago, he came on the radio, said, I feel a vibration. His crew chief told him, all right, bring it on. All the guys jumped up on pit road, and then it went.
Before he could get back, it lost all the air.
It's just like yesterday. Michael Waltrip said he felt it, and it happened before he could do anything with it.
The fender's gone. Hood's gonna be gone in a minute.
Yeah, once that tire comes apart like that, you can see the damage that it does, not only to the fender, but everything underneath there.
Well, bad luck for one is good luck for others, because all these guys were going to have to pit under green in a few minutes, and the guys that Bill Elliott was catching up to put a lap down, like Kyle Petty, Jeff Green's teammate, now get to close up and make their stop under caution.
And once again, Greg Biffle for the 2nd time today as the lucky dog winner. Biffle was just lapped by Bill Elliott a couple of laps ago.
So the pit stops will come just shy of 250 miles. 108 laps to go, so nobody can dream of making it to the finish. The question is, can they make it on one more stop the way we've seen some of the tire issues be today?
That's what I'm concerned about right now, because you got to run at least 50 laps on each run.
Bill Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, Johnny Benson, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, the top 5 coming to pit road. We saw a few of those guys just take right side tires last time for some track position. Wonder who we'll see just take rights this time. Bill?
It'll be 4 tires for Jeff Gordon. He thinks he has a flat right side tire. He has 100 laps on his lefts. It's an air pressure adjustment and track bar adjustment. Marty.
Blistering pace set by Bill Elliott. They said smooth stop, no pressure on the stop. He was 10 laps from pitting anyway. Guess what? No changes on the car, Dave.
Johnny Benson restarted 8th, worked his way all the way up to 3rd. No changes for this car. 4 tire change. Matt?
1 round out of the left rear, 1 round into right rear. They're still trying to free up Jimmy Johnson's race car. It starts a little bit on the free side of the 9 car. Bill Elliott goes off pit road, and then it starts to go to the tight side. He will go out 2nd.
Looks like that Johnny Benson lost a spot.
You know, it's amazing that Bill Elliott has not adjusted on that car. because usually you have to chase the racetrack a little bit. You know, the track is going to change. That car must be really hooked up if you don't have to make a change the whole race.
Bill Elliott is the man once again. And it looked like everybody took 4 tires on that set of stops. Under caution here at Kansas Speedway. We'll be back. NASCAR on NBC from the Kansas Speedway, where the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods is under the caution flag. 4th yellow of the day when Jeff Green had a right front issue on the Petty Dodge. See the Banquet RV there in the infield. If you were watching the Banquet Watch and Win sweepstakes, that's where you could be having a good time with Bobby Labonte at next year's Banquet 400 here at Kansas. Look like they're having a good time.
Hi, how are you?
You got the right colors too. Is that a Bobby flag up there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Bill, what's up on pit road?
Well, just watching Bill Elliott lead this field, just a great day for him. Run the race off of pit road, and just on October the 8th, he will turn 48 years old. There are some discussions as to whether or not Bill will race an entire season next year, maybe a limited schedule, maybe not at all. That's not been answered, but it's great days like this that make you think about coming back every week. Here are the guys that got him off pit road out front.
Mike Ford, crew chief, Morristown, Tennessee.
Boo Whitaker, 8th man, Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Nick Bailey, front tire carrier, Huntersville, North Carolina.
Jim Coleman, front tire changer, Oak Lawn, Illinois.
Todd Colburn, Jackman, Saline, Ohio.
Eric Wakeland, rear tire carrier, Plymouth, Indiana.
Joe Kruschek, rear tire changer, Pierce, Minnesota.
Rodney Rose, gas man, Chesapeake, Virginia.
Steve Lawrence, catch can, Sound Beach, Long Island, New York.
Guys that got Bill Elliott out in front once again and held on to the lead as we work the caution flag. Bill has been the dominant driver today, led 77 of the 163 laps we've completed so far. Taking a minute to blow some of the tire debris and bits and pieces off the racetrack, so the caution extended for just a second. We've talked, especially following last weekend's Talladega crash by Elliott Sadler, about what a great thing it is that there's no more racing back to the caution, how quickly the safety teams got to Sadler. One of the things NASCAR talked about in implementing this rule was the difficulty in freezing the field. We saw that at the finish of yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race here in Kansas City. Bobby Hamilton led on a restart at the white flag. His car vapor locked. He got bumped by Greg Biffle and crashed in turn 1, and this is on the last lap. The result was some confusion as to where and when the caution came out and when the field was frozen. It came up in this morning's Winston Cup drivers meeting. NASCAR President Mike Helton addressed it.
Yesterday afternoon in the Busch race, there was one of the reasons we didn't want to do this was exactly what happened yesterday. The rule book and the whole industry for 100 years has operated on the caution being official when that flag comes out, and that's what it means, that's what it is. There's a lot of other things that will happen at the same time. When David says put it out, the flag comes out, the lights go on, the radio should start going off telling you that there's a caution, and that's the way it should be. We set the field yesterday on the point that we called the caution. There is a question about the flag being displayed, and that's why we're not penalizing anyone who chose to race back. We'll fix the flag so that it comes out in sequence and correctly. And so I guess my point is that yesterday was a learning curve for both competitors in NASCAR. If you choose to race back in a similar situation, don't think we're just going to set the field back and maybe not penalize anybody. We didn't do that yesterday because it was the first time it had happened to us and we were trying to be forgiving. We may not be so forgiving the next time.
That was NASCAR President Mike Helton in the Winston Cup drivers and crew chiefs meeting this morning. The confusion that came up over the end of yesterday's race was, when was the caution out? When did the yellow officially come out on the speedway? The caution flag actually didn't wave until the leader was coming off turn 4, but Mike told me this morning the yellow lights were on earlier in that lap. You were in the race, Wally, and I know you were a little bit unsure where you finished.
Well, I left 15th yesterday, and I came back and I was 17th this morning. And you know what happened was, normally as a driver you listen to what the spotter says or what the crew chief says. They'll say the caution is out. I never heard that the caution was out. So when they said go, 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 I was racing back to the checkered. Now, when I saw Mike this morning, he explained to me where they said it, and actually I understand now where I lost that position. But I was never told that the caution was out through my spotter.
And NASCAR hated to throw the caution flag because they did not want to rob the fans here of the last lap battle for the lead. But with a wrecked race car like Hamilton Jr.'s down in turn 1, they had to.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just the confusion was that a lot of the drivers did not know that they were racing, that the yellow had come out. We all figured we were racing back to the checkers.
A couple things coming out of this. The contention on the part of some teams over where they actually finished was the post-race discussion. Where did the field actually get frozen? NASCAR said they need better technology to be able to freeze the field. They're still working on it. It was their concern about implementing this rule. And the real bottom line of the whole thing is, we knew this going in, that there would be some times when this rule would cause controversy, but the safety aspect overrides everything.
Exactly what I said in Dover. If you've got a problem with that yesterday, Bally, get over it.
Well,
because it's safer.
Well, you're always absolutely, but you're still going to have a problem with how they came up with where you finished. But when Mike explained it to me this morning, and I went back and looked at my in-car camera, and I saw when the yellow light came out, which I never saw. When you're racing, you don't see those lights half the time. But when that yellow light came out, the zero car Leffler just had gotten by me. And he was right. So in my own mind, I felt like I wasn't cheated.
But if somebody is right now saying, well, I still feel like I'm cheated, get over it.
You have to get over it.
Because it's safer.
Yes.
So that's the story at the end of yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race, and the kind of confusing finish to it as to when the caution came out and how the race actually ended. And we're back to green here with Bill Elliott leading Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Johnny Benson, and Kevin Harvick after the pit stops.
Right now, the Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon car is able to keep up with Bill Elliott pretty well.
Whoa, Ricky Craven has some trouble there. He was really, really out of the groove. The car was wiggling, and he's losing a lot of positions right now.
Look at this group.
Oh, man.
Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, 5 and 2, and Jamie McMurray in 42 are the lead lap cars in that group, and they're racing for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Seems like every time today we've seen Rusty Wallace, he's in that kind of situation, and we got a crash.
Caution is out. Joe Nemechek. 5th yellow of the race. And it comes out just after 250 miles. You know, this racetrack has been rough the last couple of years. The caution flags in this race, we had 13 in the inaugural in 2001. We had 11 last year. It's been a place that has produced a lot of damaged race cars and a lot of yellow flags.
Man, I tell you, he has a lot of damage to that 25 car. This might be another position for Matt Kenseth. Since Kenseth has gone back on the racetrack, he's picked up a couple of positions, 6 points. This might be another one.
First car not on the lead lap, Steve Park.
Lucky dog.
That's 2 for him, isn't it?
I think it is. He and Biffle both.
I'll confirm that for you here in a second. 7, 48, 6, 16, 16, 30. No, it's his first today.
First time.
And there is Matt Kenseth.
Car looks like a Saturday night racer.
Matt involved in a crash back at lap 69 when Michael Waltrip actually crashed in front of him, and he spun trying to avoid Michael and spent 43 minutes in the garage getting repairs. And it doesn't look like any of the leaders are going to come back onto pit road so quickly after they just stopped. 170 laps complete. Bill Elliott is the leader here in Kansas. That's a $20,000 check to Tony Stewart's team. They won the McDonald's drive-through pit championship, fueled by Powerade, by spending the least amount of time on pit road at Talladega among participating teams. Michael Waltrip's crew continues to lead the season-long standings, though Dale Jr.'s repeated pit stops to fix his damaged car at Talladega. Actually, I mean, it helped him get a second-place finish in the race, but it cost him a spot in the standings.
Kurt Busch has moved ahead of Junior's team, but the Junior's team told me they got a lot better. The first time in Talladega, they spent 17 trips on the racetrack trying to fix their car. This time, it only took them 3 trips on pit road, so they're a lot better.
Speaking of pit crews, what a job Matt Kenseth's team has done today to get that car back out on the racetrack after the heavy crash damage earlier. Here, Ryan Newman might come in.
He's been struggling a great deal with that car. You going to come in and get an adjustment?
He's back in 23rd place. Marty, what's up?
Actually, the car has not been that bad, VP. They've been stuck back in traffic, but they're playing their hand. They came in lap 171 2 laps ago, took on 4 tires, filled it up with fuel. When he left pit road, Matt Borland said, start saving fuel now. That would have left him 96 laps from the end of the race. They're going to come down this time. You see him coming down pit road now, top off with fuel. They cannot go 96 laps, but they can go 71 laps on a tank of fuel. They've done it many times. They've done it at Dover. If they get some caution laps, they might be able to go all the way.
Hey, Marty, the big reason he had to stop because he had lug nuts loose on the left front.
They actually got them tight the last time, BP. He started to leave pit road. They stopped him, backed him up, tightened him all again, and then sent him back on the way.
Just
they
wanted
wanted
to be sure.
They were all tight this time.
And they wanted just to be sure, so they tried again to tighten them.
Talked about the job Matt Kenseth's team has done. Just joining us, the story of the day so far. Michael Waltrip spins off turn 2 at lap 69, and Kenseth, to avoid hitting Waltrip, spins himself out and clobbers the inside wall halfway down the backstretch. Limps his car around to the garage where the DeWalt crew takes over. Robbie Reiser, the crew chief, leading the charge. In 43 minutes, effected major repairs while their disappointed driver sat in the car and looked on. Lap 113, they return to the Speedway. They've already made up 2 positions on track. Those are 6 points toward the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship, and you never know how important those 6 points could be at the end of the season come Ford Championship weekend in Homestead.
Never know, because Alan Kawicki won the championship by 10.
Green flag, green flag.
Back in 1992.
Back underway with Bill Elliott leading, Jimmy Johnson second, Jeff Gordon third, Johnny Benson fourth, Kevin Harvick fifth. 24 cars on the lead lap at this point.
Looking out of Bill Elliott's car, back at Jimmy Johnson. Here's Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte.
6th place.
6th spot. These guys have been doing this for what now? 20. Rusty started in 1984. Almost 20 years now.
Boy, that groove is really working up.
Isn't it? Well, we were talking about that
Battle
before.
for the lead. Look at this. Here comes Johnson. This is the first time today we've seen anybody challenge Bill Elliott, but Jimmy Johnson does it.
Not so fast.
Oh. Well, I thought he had him there for a minute.
He's still in there. Remember, this is a backup car for Jimmy Johnson. He was involved in a practice crash Saturday, started last in the field in this car. And he's still alongside Elliott for the lead. Matty?
A much better restart this time than on the previous restart. Still battling on the inside, trying to retake the lead. Jimmy, though, still feels like, as the 32 is smoking, Jimmy still feels like they're 1 or 2 adjustments away of having the car where they really need it.
Ricky Craven's radio.
I hope it did.
We stay green. Oh, that's tough luck. 32 cars really struggled these last couple of weeks, Marty, huh?
It's been such a struggle just today, Alan, for these guys. Earlier, he said it felt like it was riding on 4 flat tires, and now the engine has let go for Ricky Craven.
It's really been a tough run for that 32 car. 30th, 38th, 40th. His 3 finishes before getting a top 10 at Talladega last week.
Sounds like Ryan Newman back in May and June.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Elliott fended him off.
I think you need to get a little bit of temperature and pressure in those tires. And
then he's gotten gone.
And he goes.
Most laps Bill Elliott led in the race prior to today, 55 at New Hampshire. He's led 92 so far today as we check the Little Debbie lap leaders. Next top driver to lead laps, Dale Jarrett at 25. You see Bill Elliott is led early, and he's led often.
How about that? Elliott, Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, all guys that everyone is saying is too old to do this anymore.
They're not saying it.
No, they aren't, but some people are saying that.
Speaking of Dale Jarrett, he's pursuing Tony Stewart and Sterling Marlin for 9th, 10th, and 11th positions. Talked to Greg Zipadelli this morning. Thought they'd be a little more of a force in today's race than they've been so far in that 20 car for Stewart.
Yeah, when you think of this racetrack and the groove being right on the bottom down next to the white line, you right away think of Tony Stewart because he always tries to get that car working down there, but today it hasn't worked well.
And still, Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte race, but now Jamie McMurray joins the chase in that 42 car. See his back end wiggle when he got down into turn 3 there. I'll bet that's a fun feeling for a driver at 100.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? 60 miles an hour?
Lots of fun. Faster than that, I bet here.
Caution. Got one going up in smoke down the front stretch. Kurt Busch. I guess it finally ran out of oil.
I was going to say, that's not really too big of a surprise. Whoop.
Oh,
that thing's getting hot.
Goodness. Get out of there.
Time to get out.
And look how quickly the fire truck's there.
Yes. Oh, man, that is so cool to see. All that oil that we saw inside the car got so hot that it caught on fire.
Yeah.
Let me rest a minute.
Take a breath.
And breathe some of this good Kansas air, because all I've been breathing for the last hour has been
pollution.
Pollution, exactly.
So the 6th caution flag is out. Kurt Busch's car with its problem. That's the camera inside the car.
Seeing a bunch of fire extinguisher smoke now, aren't we?
And Kurt walking away for the mandatory checkup. So we're going to see any of the leaders pitting here. 84 laps to go when they come back around.
But can you imagine the emotions that he went through? The engine blew up and he said the frustration, that was the emotion. Doggone it, I can't race anymore. The engine is blown up and what have you. And about the time he gets through that, he looks around, oh my goodness, I'm on fire. I got to get out of this thing.
The adrenaline took a big swing.
Took a big swing.
Looks like 7th place Jamie McMurray is the only one of the top 10 who's going to come to pit road under this caution. This is on board Kurt Busch.
Just stop right there. Get the ambulances and everything off of 2. Just stop right there. Get out of there. Stop right there.
That's not what a driver wants to see when he's pulling off into the grass.
Or field.
Amazing how fast you can get out, though, when you're on fire, isn't it?
So Kurt Busch is out. The Banquet 400 here at the Kansas Speedway. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Under caution in the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods after Kurt Busch had something go mechanically wrong with his car. Check the Coca-Cola Racing family update. Pretty good day for the gang so far.
Bill O, it's been a wonderful day for him.
Harvick and Stewart, Jarrett in the top 10 and Labonte just outside of it. Jeff Burton just pitted, dropped him back a little bit, and Kurt Busch obviously just falling out of the race a minute ago.
Not a good day for Kurt Busch. But Kurt Busch falling out, if Kansas can keep his car running, that's another 3 points because he will pass Kurt Busch before the day is over.
Yep. Only 6 of the lead lap cars pitted under this caution. Jamie McMurray, Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Burton, Ryan Newman, Hamilton Jr., and Kyle Petty, and the lucky dog was Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's going to get back on the lead lap here. 82 laps to go. Got a big cleanup here, so let's take another break. NASCAR on NBC at the Kansas Speedway with the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods is under caution. 80 laps to go. Caution coming out after Kurt Busch, whose problems we saw earlier with the oil and the smoke inside the car, well, things kind of got worse for him.
Well, they got magnified in a big-time way. Coming off turn.
We're blowing up. Woohoo! Man, get it out of the groove, buddy. Get it out of the groove.
Jeremy Brickhouse, the spotter, saying, get it out of the groove. Don't put oil on the racetrack.
And when you're a driver and you're not having a good day.
Stop right there. Get the ambulances and everything off of 2. Just stop right there. Get out of there.
It's exactly what you want to see happen.
See, and around the around the shifter is a rubber boot. And obviously that fire would burn that rubber boot away. I think we're going to start making those things out of asbestos or something.
Bill?
Well, Kurt Busch has come out of the infield care center. How you feel?
They said my oxygen level wasn't all that great.
I imagine.
I don't know. It's just a bummer thing. I mean, the guys are trying to fix it. You got to put all your trust in the guys to try to get through it. And there was just oil coming out from every which way. And I guess we finally let too much get out, and it burned something up.
What was it like in there, Kurt?
It's a scenario where I've always blown motors and nothing ever caught on fire before. And so I was a bit surprised by that. And you could feel the heat, and I just dropped the window net, and spotter said stop there in turn 2 by all the fire trucks, and had to get out as quick as I could.
Was it tough while you were still under race conditions in there?
Yeah, just every time I went into turn 3, when the car stayed flat for that long on the back straightaway, smoke would come pouring out, and I couldn't even see the entry to turn 3. So we may have probably should have brought it in. I hope that I didn't get any oil on the track.
Rescue guys got there pretty quick, didn't they?
Yeah, they were on it. My spotter told me to stop right there in 2, so it all worked out.
I'm going to see you next week.
All right, guys, on the track during this caution, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got his lucky dog lap back. He was going to come around and pit as he passed by Johnny Benson's car. In Benson's words, he hit pretty hard on, I don't know because I haven't seen it, but I was watching it take place with the guys in the pits. So the 8 car is in right now. They want to look at the left rear, damage back there, and Benson has damage, and they're worried about coming in too to fix it. Benson's day may have just been really hurt.
Oh,
Marty?
Well, Dave, Ryan Newman, and Matt Borland are at it again. They pitted on lap 267, took on 4 tires and fuel, leaving them 81 laps short of the finish. Came down this time, pitted, topped off the tank, leaving them 79 laps from the finish of the race. Can they go all the way on fuel? Matt Borland thinks so, with some help with some caution. 12 laps short right now. He told Ryan on the radio, these are the last tires you'll have all day long. Ryan said, are you using your good calculator to do this? Matt said, yes, I am. Ryan said, then I trust you. I don't know what a good calculator that is. Is that the one that lies, or is that the one that tells the truth?
I don't know. And look at the damage on the 10 car after a terrific run for Benson today.
He gave up 4th spot to come down and pit here, VP.
Right front, isn't it, guys? Because it's on the other side. I can't see anything. Is it right front damage? Yeah, so that's what they're going to try to pull out. And they had it all worked out. They were going to come in one more time, 2 right side tires. It was all they were going to do. And now they're going to have to see if they can come back through the field with this damaged race car. Marty?
One more top off for Ryan Newman. This will put them 78 laps from the finish of the race. Remember, they can go 71 laps under green, so really, they don't need that many caution laps to make it to the end of the race, and they may be the only one on this strategy, guys.
You know, I don't know if that's going to hurt Johnny so much or not. I mean, it would have been worse if it was a left front fender here.
Yeah, let's see what happened to Johnny.
See if we can pick out the 10 car here, and watch Dale Jr. coming up to the outside of Benson, trying to double up and come around and take his lucky dog pass.
Johnny is trying to keep his tires clean. Just that little bit of contact doesn't take much to ruin your fender. I don't know if that's going to hurt the 10 car that much. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Obviously, for this racetrack for downforce, the left front more important than the right front.
So Johnny had to give up 4th, and he is going to restart somewhere back around 20th. Here we go. 77 laps. Does Ryan Newman have fuel to the finish?
They're all over each other, weren't they?
Bill Elliott leads. Jimmy Johnson 2nd. Jeff Gordon 3rd. Kevin Harvick 4th. Rusty Wallace 5th.
Oh, Leffler wants that lap, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Be careful here. He's going to be in the middle. Not a good place to be.
He's in the middle. He's on the outside now as lots of cars going by, blowing by on the inside.
Second, 3rd, and 4th. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick. They've all cleared the lap traffic.
Oh, there's somebody else sliding up there.
Greg Biffle looks like got loose down in 1 and 2. What Wally was talking about.
Seems like on each restart, somebody really goes up that bank.
behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Still all the lap cars mixed up in there.
Terry Labonte's trying to clear him. Looks like he's got it cleared.
Terry's running 6th.
Now Rusty Wallace has got to clear those guys.
This is Robbie Gordon in the 31. 27th place, 1 lap down.
Rusty on the inside.
Robbie trying to go by straight with a 4 wide now.
Wow. This is one of those places you can get on the apron too, and it doesn't really upset the car too bad.
And I'm sure that, and they're still trying to go 3 wide in the corner. That is definitely not going to work. And here comes Harvick on the inside of Rusty Wallace.
And Sterling Marlin.
Yeah, a little different paint job on the 40 car this week. They look fairly similar.
Oh, that's right. It's not Harvick, it's Sterling.
I was watching Dale Jarrett in the 88. He got down on the apron and got into some of that oil dry from where Kurt Busch had the blown engine. I was curious to see if his car would turn when it got to turn 1. Picking up all the marbles on the hot tires. But
normally, if you run straight through it, it's not too bad.
But he got through it okay. DJ running in 9th spot. And that 54 car right behind him. Great drive today for Todd Bodine in the National Guard machine. Here's a team that has defined the word struggle this year. 1 top 10 finish for them all season. 7 races they've failed to finish. Had 1 they didn't qualify for. But Marty, great drive today.
Having a terrific run, Alan. This is a race team that has not had a top 10 since Pocono in July. Very solid today, and Todd's saying right now, even though he's in 10th and doing great, the car is the worst it's been all day. Tied in, tied off, but they have been running really well, planning on a wedge adjustment when they do have to come back down pit road for the last stop of the day.
It's Todd there going around John Andretti. And Benson trying to make his way back through the traffic after the late pit stop on the 10. See Junior there behind him.
All that battles for about 16th, 17th position.
And Benson just around Ricky Rudd in the 21. That's for 19th spot. Next car he'll race in line is the 7 of Jimmy Spencer, the light blue car that's up in the outside lane.
Well, he was on the, on the outside, you said. I started to say, thought you said inside, but he's moved up to the outside as Biffle was able to get by Spencer.
There's Jimmy. Old Mongo. Next in front of Spencer will be Biffle in the 16, who's running in 17th spot.
Biffle is right behind Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that 35 car, who had to stop, put a plug wire back on, and fought his way back to the 16th position.
Tenth place, Bobby Labonte trying to take it from Todd Bodine. It's been kind of a tough racetrack for Bobby Labonte. 29th and 22nd have been his 2 finishes here in the first 2 races. Whoa, hang on.
Bobby really slid up the racetrack there. Got in and the car got away, started, and you can feel that when you're in the car on the high side. You feel all this air coming through your window. When that happens, you start driving up the racetrack a little bit because you know that car underneath you is sliding towards you.
Bobby just could not use all the racetrack off turn 4, let the car drift out, so Todd was able to maintain that spot.
There goes Bobby again.
Yeah.
Sliding up the track.
Okay, if I can't keep it down, I'll try the top line. And again, this is something that using that higher lane. Whoop, got a car on the wall. And spinning back through traffic, it's Michael Waltrip.
We spun around and 3 and 4 guys got back damage. We're on the apron. We'll be coming to pit road here.
The NASCAR spotters had just called in that there was a left front tire rub on that car not 10 seconds before he spun. So I wonder if the tire went down.
I saw him, there's something smoke out the back of that car a few laps ago off turn 2. And he's decided to take the car directed to the garage.
He went to the garage, Slugger. He went to the garage.
Yeah, I think he's probably decided he's had enough.
Michael Waltrip, after spinning back at lap 69, now bringing out a caution once again here at lap 200.
Gets up a little bit too high. Looked like he got in the loose stuff and around it went.
Yeah, left front was up there.
Hard to say. See the smoke there?
Yeah, I saw that's a left front tire. That's the smoke I saw earlier.
Yeah.
Wondered what it was.
Well, this won't be a fun ride.
Let's listen.
Try to hold it up there. Hold it up there. We spun around and 3 and 4 guys got back damage. We're on the apron. We'll be coming to pit road here.
All you're doing is standing on the brakes. There's no way you can hold it up there. You try, but.
All right, here they all come down pit road. Bill.
Jeff Gordon told Robbie Loomis, free this thing up or we're going to get our butts kicked. So they're going to make a chassis adjustment. Right side tires going on. They're also going to bump up the spoiler a little bit right on the edge of the fuel window. Pack it full of fuel. Marty.
Mike Ford told Bill Elliott, top of your screen, we can make it all the way from here. 4 tires, no changes. Most important man on this team right now, Rodney Rose, packet full of fuel, already on his way, Matt.
This may be the last chance that Jimmy Johnson has to fix his race car. They made a track bar adjustment as a number of cars go by. Johnson takes on 4 tires. Jim Pollard, the gas man, packing it full of fuel. Service finally complete.
18 car of Bobby Labonte, no tire change, fuel only for him. They jacked the left side of the car up to try to make sure they got every drop of fuel in they could.
And I'll tell you what, we have got ourselves a real mixed up deal now. Jamie McMurray, the first one off. Jeff Burton right beside of him. Tony Stewart. We still haven't seen Elliott. Ricky Rudd. Rusty Wallace. Okay.
We're not going to see Bill for a little bit yet.
Jeff Gordon. Bobby Labonte. Dale. Sterling. Okay, Bill, come on. Speed the tape up. Sure, there finally is Bill Elliott.
Bottom line on all that, not many guys got 4 tires on that pit stop. And there were 2 who didn't stop at all. We'll tell you who the new leader is when we come back to the Kansas Speedway. A lot of racing to show you next Saturday on TNT and NBC. Saturday at noon Eastern time, we'll have the NASCAR Busch Series race from Lowe's Motor Speedway. And then prime time Saturday night, UAW GM Quality 500, starting at 7 Eastern with Discover Card, countdown to green. Saturday night under the lights in Charlotte. Should be fun. Jeremy Mayfield's the new leader. Ryan Newman is second. Those are the 2 drivers whose teams did not call them to pit road under the caution. Marty?
Ryan Newman and his bunch are at it again. I'm just going to ask you direct questions from now on. Are you going to pit again?
We're still short on fuel right now, but we'll see how things go. We're going to need another few yellows to help us out here, but it's unfortunately the position we're in, and we got to roll the dice at this point.
They are about now, though, 7 laps short on fuel. Before they were 12. Matt?
Kenny Francis called Mayfield back in to top off at lap 189. Now, how close are you?
It's hard to say. It's going to be pretty close. You know, we'll just see what happens. We might get some more cautions, might not, but we probably need to save, 6-7 laps. But we think we can do it.
Mayfield the leader, Newman second, Jamie McMurray third, Jeff Burton fourth, Tony Stewart fifth, followed by Ricky Rudd, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, and Dale Jarrett. Bill Elliott, who's dominated today, came down pit road in the lead, got 4 tires and fuel. He's 15th with 62 laps to go.
It's amazing these guys can only run about 55, 60 laps on the first run, but they have visions of running 75, 80 laps on the second run. It's amazing. Oh,
yikes.
Yikes is correct.
That's what I was talking about earlier, that it's very hard to keep those cars down on the bottom like that on the restarts. The car just wants to slide up the racetrack.
That was Casey Mears in the 41 trying to stay with leader Jeremy Mayfield. Casey, the first car, 1 lap down. Target cars in 26th place. Jamie McMurray in third after a quick pit stop, Dave.
He wasn't the only guy that took fuel only, but he didn't have to take as much. That's because he came in and topped off on lap 189 after, on the same caution, they had a problem, missed an adjustment, and had to make a restop. They put on 4 new tires, made their adjustment. So just when they thought they were down, they're back up.
Got their track position back. McMurray made a quick move to the outside on the restart.
Ran in the back of the 12 car, just made slight contact with Ryan Newman. Obviously got a much better start than Ryan did, or anticipated the green better.
And almost jumped out of the groove coming off of turn 4. McMurray talking about in that 42.
Busy right here.
Real busy.
Jeff Gordon in 8th place in the 24. Dale Jarrett kind of pinned in traffic. Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin to his outside, and that is a race for a spot there. 88 car kind of pinned in behind the 0 and the 74 that are not on the lead lap.
Jimmy Johnson thought about going on the outside of Dale Jarrett and was going to make it 3 wide in the corner. This groove is widened out, and I'm not sure it's that wide.
I don't think so either. But here, Harvick was looking too.
Oh, he wanted to, didn't he?
Yeah.
Remember the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, like Bill Elliott in the 9, was up front before the caution, but he got 4 tires on the yellow, and all the other guys played their strategy in front of him.
Harvick's getting underneath the 48. See if he can stay there. Couldn't use the track there, but looks like he's got a pretty good run.
That's 12th place there, Molly. How about Bill Elliott? He's led 115 of the 210 laps today. And now, at a crucial point in the race, he and the team find themselves with a decision. They know they're going to be people take 2 tires and 4 tires. Do you take the 4 tires and count on your car being strong enough to get back through the pack all day? Or
the next stop, you mean?
No, now.
Oh.
Last one. That was with 65 to go. They're not coming in again.
Yeah, no, I think they did the right thing. I think they made the right move.
How about it, Marty?
I talked to Mike Ford and Bill Elliott back there in 14th, kind of mired in traffic right now. I asked him why they took 4 tires. He said, those guys who took fuel only and those guys who took 2 tires will not be as good as we will be at the end of this run, and that will be the key. That's where we need to be good. Bill was back in the pack earlier, didn't make progress like they would like. And remember, his car's better on the short run, so they need those 4 tires to make it good on the long run. Bill?
Marty just got back out here on pit road, came back from the garage, tried to get a word with Michael Waltrip, still sitting in the car, waved off an interview because they're trying to get the car back out. Really couldn't even get to the cockpit because of all the guys working so hard trying to get that Napa Chevy back out on the track. And speaking of cars out on the track, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, just took 2 right side tires on that last stop. Robbie Loomis said they did it because it worked for them earlier in the race. He's hoping it's going to work for them now. They are right on the edge of their fuel window, probably a lap and a half short. One more thing about these guys is that Jeff has driven very hard out there today. They're really happy with the performance of this race car going for the 3-peat here at Kansas.
Jeff Gordon batting 1,000 at this racetrack. Winner in 2001 in the inaugural. Winner last year. Hearing that Michael Waltrip's team might have just changed their mind and decided the damage was unrepairable, and the car has been retired from the race.
Oh, you just want me to have to walk all the way back there, don't you?
No, they just reported to NASCAR. 15 done for the day, Bill. So I guess they decided whatever it was couldn't be fixed.
Well, Bill, I could walk on the roof and find the spotter, Jory Meyer, and see if he's leaving and going down the elevator or not.
That would require you leaving the air-conditioned booth.
Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing something here off camera that we don't see often. Bill Weber was just running back to the garage.
Oh, I could hear that. I could hear that, yeah.
How come you didn't point that out?
Well, I thought you'd be all over it. Here's Bill Elliott following Jimmy Johnson up through the traffic. They are now in 11th and 12th places.
I think they're sitting pretty.
Well, they are about a quarter lap behind Jeremy Mayfield. So they got a chunk to make up to catch him. There's Mayfield out in front. He's at the start-finish line, and Bill Elliott's in the middle of 3 and 4.
About 9 seconds behind.
You see the gap between them. And there are 51 laps to go. Can Elliott get up and take a win away from his teammate? What else might happen in the closing laps of this one today? Saluting the contributions of R.J. Reynolds to the growth of the sport of NASCAR racing. As their tenure as the series sponsor winds down, Jeff Gordon, he's taking a lot of money.
Oh, has he ever?
And Gordon right now running in 7th, trying for the triple here at Kansas. Bill, you caught your breath yet?
I got my breath and I got a driver. Not the way we wanted the day to end for you after you visited us on the pre-race show. Last week, victory lane. Today, the garage early. What happened?
Just lost it there early. Was real loose on new tires, and it just banged it up enough where we had our hands full with the Napa Chevy. I think finally cut a right rear, or cut a tire going in through one of them, and spun it out. And ended the day for a Napa Chevy. It's a fun track, and I'm tired of wrecking here. I look forward to come back next year and turn the tables on it.
All right, we'll see you at Charlotte, Mike.
Got it.
And Alan, they decided not to go back out because they only could pick up 2 positions, and they weren't sure they'd get the car fixed in time to get back out there and do that.
Okay.
Now, Michael's been on the wall 3 times in the last 2 days. I think he's probably tired of that.
Yeah, if you weren't with us on the NASCAR Busch Series race yesterday, Michael was leading with 5 laps to go when he lost the right front tire on his car and pounded the front stretch wall.
And it doesn't take the tire being very low on air pressure to cause the car to go into a spin.
Bill Elliott moving up again, just took the 10th spot away from Sterling Marlin. We saw that he was 9 seconds behind Jeremy Mayfield earlier.
Bobby Labonte looks back at Elliott. Here he comes. Boy, he can't even see him now. He might be so close he can't see him. Okay, see you, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
So 9th place to Bill Elliott.
But his problem is still 9 seconds behind the leader.
That was my point. He hasn't made up any ground on Mayfield. He's gaining positions,
yes,
but he hasn't made up any ground. Long way to go. And he begins to work on Ricky Rudd now for 8th place. Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace here racing for 6th and 7th. Rusty has led 5 different times today for 23 laps. Jeff Gordon, despite going for the triple, has not been in the lead for a single lap so far today. Both took just right side tires on their last pit stop. What do we think with these stops at 65 to go? Have we seen the last fuel stops for the day? If we go green to the finish?
65 laps, I think that some of them might be able to run 65. But if, again, on the green flag, it's only going to be a few. I don't think many of them can run that far.
Of course, big question is right now the top 2.
He's up there.
Gordon?
Yeah, that's almost a little bit too high. Lost a little ground there.
The top 2 there, Mayfield and Newman, topped off with 70, or Mayfield stopped with 78 to go. And the same for Ryan Newman. So, what are their crews thinking now? Let's go through the field. Matt, you got it first.
They are still crunching the numbers for Jeremy Mayfield. Still a little short, but a solid run by one of the Dodge boys. Both cars running well today. Mayfield has what he needs, though. Clean air to try to conserve fuel, Marty.
Ryan Newman in 2nd place is 8 laps short on the fuel. Matt Borland about every lap says conserve fuel. Ryan says I'm already doing it. Dave?
The car is good for Jamie McMurray. Remember, no tire change last time. Just filled it full of fuel. Matt?
What a day for Tony Stewart. Never lost confidence, and he has been coaching his team. He congratulated them on getting him the track position. They are good to go on fuel. Greg Zappadelli told me, unless we get a caution, the tires are welded on till the finish. Bill?
The good news is Jeff Burton is running in the top 5. The bad news is he's going to have to stop for fuel. He cannot make it. Earlier today, he didn't have any brakes. He's got some brakes now, but doesn't have enough fuel, Marty.
Bill, Rusty Wallace does have enough fuel, and earlier he described his car as loose as a goose. The goose is a little less loose now, actually tight for Rusty Wallace, but pretty happy with the chassis overall. Bill?
Jeff Gordon was loose in, but very, very, very tight off. So they had to free up the car and try and help him into the turns. Racing door to door with the 9. That's why they bumped up the spoiler and why they also tried to free him up. So it was a combination of two things. Marty?
Bill Elliott trying to get 2 cars in one pass, looking to go underneath Rusty Wallace, and he does, moving to the 6th position. They said on the radio a moment ago, don't let any of these guys hold you up. We need to get to the front and fast. Let's go win this thing. Ricky Rudd behind him on the racetrack. Ricky's had an excellent car today, a little bit tight. Right now, Ricky in the 9th position. They've been very happy with the race car. It's running well today, and if it lives to the day, which it looks like it will, it'll go to Charlotte next week, Dave.
Bobby Labonte's car was a little bit free getting into the corners, but generally he was happy with it, so the last time they stopped, no changes for him and no complaints since. Alan?
Your top 10 as we go through the field. You can hear a variety of strategies played in that last stop, and some even not stopping. Question is, do the leaders have fuel to the finish, and can Bill Elliott run down those front runners after being the dominant driver all day? Let's keep going through the field. Sterling Marlin's in 11th place. Matty?
Sterling's good to go on fuel. Lee McCall's crew chief told me today, the biggest thing about today, they just need a solid finish. They need to get some momentum rolling. They're 1 spot out of the top 10. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson, one of the best cars all day. Those 4 tires trying to make his way back up through the field, currently 12th, Bill.
Good day for Kevin Harvick. Naturally, the car runs better when it's not in traffic. They say they can make it to the end on their fuel, but this morning his crew chief told me that's a big concern, running anything more than 60 laps. Marty?
Bill, it's been a big struggle today for Mark Martin. He started 38th, but he has made progress, especially here in the second half of the race. The car has been tight for most of the day. This used to be a 17 car belonging to Matt Kenseth that has a 6 on it today. Bill?
Another strong run for Terry Labonte. Spent most of the day inside the top 10, creeped up into the top 5. Good car here on the edge as far as their fuel range is concerned. Matt?
Dale Jarrett's car loose on entry and off the corners. The biggest concern, DJ reports the water temperature is climbing. The motor's not running like it was. The team is very concerned.
The right front damage on Johnny Benson's car not bothering him, but the set of tires is just not as good as the one he had before, according to Johnny. They want to change 2 if they come to pit road again. If not, they're stuck with it. Matt?
Biffle, currently running in the 18th position. His car tight all day. They've made a number of changes all day, Marty. It's a slow progress.
Todd Bodine had a great car in the first half of the race, kind of falling off here in the second half of the race as Casey Mears looks underneath him. Loose in, tight in the middle, loose off. How do you fix that, Dave?
The Marines needed to make a charge, so they made a huge adjustment on the last stop. It's helped a little bit. Then Bobby thought he had a right front going down. That backed off, but he hasn't been able to make much progress. For Steve Park, not a bad day. Just a little bit loose when he came to pit road on lap 202, so they made an air pressure adjustment, gave him 2 right side tires, and did pretty well. The 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. made a 4 tire change on lap 202, was just a tick free, and made a wedge adjustment to try to fix that. This set of tires, by the way, his favorite in scuffing yesterday during happy hour. Bill?
Matt Kenseth crashed earlier in the race, the championship leader. He spent about 45 minutes back in the garage, came back out. He just passed Kurt Busch and is currently running 38th. He's only 11 laps away from passing Michael Waltrip, picking up positions, passing cars that have fallen out of the race. Trouble.
Down the front stretch, it's Mark Martin. And the caution is out.
And I don't know that Mark has hit anything. Now you say you freeze the field, but Mark, he goes in the position that he gets his car going again. Whatever position he is now, that's the position he will restart this race.
Well, what a break for Bill Elliott.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Exactly what he needed right here.
He was 8 seconds behind Jeremy Mayfield. The caution allows him to close that up. Now the question is, who pits?
Bill Elliott won't. Well, he just got loose. He got on the inside of the Skinner. He was trying to hang on to the car, and then he bounced off of Skinner.
See the air get under the front of that when he came off the bank.
Yeah, look at it. Woo! Mark did a good job keeping off the wall. Believe me, he was driving that thing right there.
He drove that thing all the way down and backwards, forwards. He was driving it.
See him here get underneath the 01 of Mike Skinner.
I got it.
But see, see how his car was sliding up there? That happens when you get off the turn 4. You start sliding up. Mark tried holding it off of Mike. Car got loose.
You were being serious. I was going to say that was the camouflage car, and he didn't see him there.
Oh, I see.
You know, they talk about being sand camouflage. It looking like it was asphalt camouflage.
Yeah. All right, here they come to the opening of pit road. It'll be with 31 laps to go. Does anybody stop?
Oh, yeah. Somebody surely is going to stop.
Well, you know the 99's got to come.
First two didn't.
Sixth place, no.
Ooh, the 99 didn't come.
And remember the commitment line we showed you earlier, the line by which they have to go or not go onto pit road. Dale Jarrett first in from 15th place, so none of the front runners will stop. 31 laps to go at Kansas, setting up for a great finish. We'll be back. NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR live from the Kansas Speedway with the Banquet 400 presented by ConAgra Foods. Down to the finish, 30 laps to go. It's been a wild race so far. Let's take you back through and set things up for you. Beautiful afternoon here in Kansas. The pre-race festivities, star-spangled as always, and a sellout crowd of better than 85,000. Watch championship leader Matt Kenseth get in trouble early. Michael Waltrip spun off turn 2 at lap 69. Kenseth spun to avoid piling into Waltrip, and instead piled into the backstretch wall on the inside. 43 minutes it took his team to repair the car. He came back out on the racetrack in 43rd place, but by soldiering on, he's likely to gain 21 more points than he would have if he just retired at that point. Dave Blaney with a wiggle and a wobble and a crash in turn 2, bringing out a caution flag. Watch Elliott Sadler come into the picture. Right front tire, scary, hard crash for the second week in a row for the Virginia driver. He was okay, and the fire crews quickly at his car to help him from the machine. Just laps later, Matt Kenseth makes his return to the race. Tip of the cap to that crew. Perhaps a championship winning performance today. Kurt Busch, another scary moment. Lost an engine on his car, and the fire coming up inside the race car. Kurt stopped near one of the safety stations. The rescue workers quickly to him, and he was okay. Michael Waltrip's bad day ended with the back end of his doubleheader at lap 201. Waltrip fine, though done for the day. Then just seconds ago, moments ago, how's that? Mark Martin, Mike Skinner sort of couldn't get off each other, and Martin went for the double loop down the front stretch side of the Kansas Speedway. He continues on, and that's the way things have been. Through all of those incidents, Bill Elliott has led early and led often, and that's been the story of the race. Elliott leading 115 of the 238 laps, one of 10 drivers that have traded the lead 22 times. Drivers out of the race: Kurt Busch, Ricky Craven, Elliott Sadler, and Dave Blaney to this point, though we will be shortly adding Michael Waltrip and Derek Cope to that list. Marty?
Ryan Newman 8 laps short on fuel. By the time we get going here, Matt Borland, you'll have had 5 caution laps. Does it put you in your window to make it to the checkered flag?
We're definitely still a few laps short, but he's been saving some fuel, and there'll probably be another yellow or two, so I think we'll be in good shape now.
Just look at that poker face. If it means anything to you guys, he lost the team poker game this week. Matt?
Kenny Francis and Josh Brown, you guys have been crunching the numbers between Jeremy conserving on the track and the caution laps. Are you in the good yet?
It's just hard to say. We're just going to have to wait and see. You know, our Dodge Dealers Dodge has been running really good all day. We lost the handle on it in the middle of the race, but then got it back and had to take a chance to get our track position so we could try to win this thing. So hopefully we'll make it.
Read that as it's close.
Jeremy Mayfield leads.
Boy, Jeremy got a great restart, and the Zero car got a terrible restart. Jammed him up, but Bill Elliott lost a little bit of ground on Jeremy there on that restart.
Jason Leffler had a problem on the restart, missed a shift or something went wrong mechanically in his car. He seems to be getting back up to speed now.
And Robbie Gordon in the 31 car ran in the back of the Zero. Don't know how much damage that he has to his car.
Up front for the lead, Ryan Newman all over the back of Jeremy Mayfield. May understand his best chance to win is to get by him right now.
He's got to get by him and go, because once Elliott clears these cars that are in front of him, he's going to be coming real quick.
27 to go. Ryan Newman out in front. First time he's led all day, Marty.
And Wally, the point you made is exactly what Ryan Newman asked under the caution. He asked, where is Bill Elliott? His crew chief told him he's in 5th, but he has an excellent car. He said, you need to go as soon as you can.
Yeah, he's got to use that clean arrow we talk about all the time to his advantage and try to stretch it out, because Bill's on very good tires. He knows he can go all the way. You know he's going to be making up ground quick.
Tony Stewart running 4th, Matt.
And his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, telling Tony under the caution, the only car to worry about we feel is the 9. He's running a strong 10th, better than anybody. Dave?
Under that caution, Bill Elliott's name came up in conversation between Donnie Wingo, crew chief for Jamie McMurray, and Jamie. He said, Donnie said the 9, he's a-coming, and Jamie said, is he a lot faster? Donnie said, yeah, he's kind of been the class of the field. So they know they're better than a lot of guys. They're not sure they're better than the 9.
I think all the teams realize that the 9 car is the fastest car out there. The only question, can he get through these cars and get to Ryan Newman?
Well, he just cleared the last of the lap cars between himself and the people he's racing for position. So everybody that's in front of him in the line now is for a spot.
And it'll probably get a little bit tougher to pass these cars once he gets to them. But boy, he is so much faster getting into the corner right now than the guys in front of him.
Bill Elliott in 5th. Going to try and get Tony Stewart for 4th. Behind him, this is for 7th place. Jeff Burton in the 99 and Rusty Wallace in the 2. Jeff Burton, we thought there was a little question about fuel to the finish on him a bit ago, Bill. How about it?
I talked to his crew chief, Paul Andrews Allen, during that last caution, said they're good to go on fuel. They are definitely good, but the car's just tight, and it's been tight all day.
Elliott disposes of Tony Stewart.
4th place.
4th position.
And rolling. Bill Elliott will turn 48 years old this Wednesday. There have been many rumors surrounding him. How much longer will he continue to do this on a full-time basis? Elliott really hasn't had anything to say about it.
Let's see what kind of ground he makes up on Jamie McMurray here. Going down a backstretch into turn 3. Rolls out of the gas. See how much ground he makes up on that 42 car. Picks up the gas pretty early. Picks up about another car length on Jamie. So it's not going to be too long before he's going to be beating on his bumper.
But the problem is, he's faster than, but he's not faster than Ryan Newman. Last time by the monitor shows Elliott and Newman running about the same speed.
Well, that clean air definitely is going to help Ryan Newman for sure. He's in the spot he wants to be.
Let's check speeds at the line and compare Ryan Newman and Bill Elliott and the rest of the top 10.
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Number 1.
That time, Elliott just a tick quicker.
And to 3rd place around Jamie McMurray, Dave.
As soon as he saw Bill close in his rearview mirror, especially going into the turns, Jamie radioed in, boy, he's a lot faster, isn't he? Donnie Wingo said to him, I wouldn't mess with him. They let him go.
The Lion King roars in the late laps here at Kansas. Is it enough to get to the front? Check out more on today's race at NBCSports.com. Get previews of each Winston Cup race and analysis from BP. And yours truly will talk about whatever's going on in the sport, different topics, our opinions. NBCSports.com. Hope you'll join us there. Ryan Newman is the race leader. Out in front for the first time all race at lap 240. Trying to run the final 78 laps on his tank of fuel. He stayed out on track when the other leaders pitted. That's how he got to the point, and then took the lead from Jeremy Mayfield. That's how he got to 2nd. Then he took the lead from Mayfield with 27 to go.
I mean, what is this? Every time we do a race, it seems like we're going through this same situation with Ryan Newman.
Pretty much ditto for Mayfield. Trouble down the front. Car on the wall.
Johnny Benson. Those guys were having such a good run today.
And the caution flag is out.
Okay, Ryan did not want to see this.
And the rescue vehicles are already rolling, coming toward Benson. As the field comes off turn 4, slowing for the yellow flag.
See, they used to couldn't do that before.
That's right. They had to wait till all the cars got back to the start-finish line, but they can now.
See Johnny unbuckling the helmet. Marty, this might be a huge break for the 12.
Yeah, Wally, I think you're right in one sense. They did not want to see the caution. They had a huge lead, but this does put him good to the finish. So they can definitely make it all the way on fuel. They were going to be 2 laps short, and Matt Borland just shook his hand in the air, said that we're going to be in good shape now. So they can make it all the way on fuel. Johnny Benson out of the car, as you see, Alan.
Now, I think what's going to be interesting here, Benny, is if Bill Elliott looks like he's a little bit quicker than Jeremy.
Yeah.
And it's all about the restart. Boy, Johnny's not happy with somebody.
Yeah. He's taking a walk to go express his displeasure, I think. Or is he just waiting for the field to clear? Maybe what he was waving at was that the rescue crews were to the inside of the track and he was to the outside.
But anyway, what I was saying, this restart is going to be the whole key to victory. Ryan's going to have to get a really, really great restart, and Bill's going to have to clear the 19 car as quick as he can.
And the 12 has not been getting good restarts. I don't know if it was, but he hasn't restarted in front yet. We'll see what happens now.
Sounds to me like we got a lot of drama on our hands.
Yes, we do.
We'll look forward to seeing these last 18 laps when we come back to the Kansas Speedway. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Still under caution at the Kansas Speedway, 251 laps on the board for the championship leader, Matt Kenseth. A long day. The oil pressure now going up and down in his car. Matt's going to take it easy the rest of the way. He has worked his way back to 36th position. At one point, he was 43rd. He's passed guys that have fallen out of the race. And here's the crew that helped him do it back in the garage and on the track.
Robbie Reiser, crew chief, Ellenton, Wisconsin.
Todd Millard, windshield, Middleton, Wisconsin.
Chris Brook, front tire carrier, Davie, Florida.
Justin Nottestead, front tire changer, Cambridge, Wisconsin.
Rob Strupp, Jackman, Ellenton, Wisconsin.
Brian Dunaway, rear tire carrier, Momence, Illinois.
Jeremy West, rear tire changer, Los Angeles, California.
I'm Benji Groves, the gas man from Richmond, Virginia.
I'm Dave Perano, the catch can man from Woodsville, New Hampshire.
Drivers get the championship trophy, but it's the crew that wins the championship. Great teamwork for these guys on a disappointing day as Matt Kenseth's lead in the championship standings dwindles. Currently 282 as they run now, Alan.
It was 354 at the start of the day. Getting closer. It was 436 after Dover. Let's check out what happened to Johnny Benson to bring out the caution flag just a minute ago.
Trying to watch this group right in there. It looks to me like somehow, I don't know, somehow it looks like the 10 car and the 6 car got together. It looks like the 6 got into the 10's right rear quarter panel, or Johnny drifted up. I'm not sure, but definitely Johnny got turned.
And hard contact with that outside retaining wall with both the front and the rear.
Half a lap from the restart. Bill Elliott in third behind Ryan Newman and Jeremy Mayfield. They've had the dominant car today, Marty.
You had the best car, Mike Ford, but you have 2 cars to get around. Can Bill Elliott get it done?
Well, I think he can, as long as we get some green flag racing here, as long as the caution doesn't come out. You know, the Dodge dealer's a trip. It's been good all day. Just see what happens here. It's been pretty exciting.
On the radio up front, Roger Penske told Ryan Newman, be careful what you do here. We've already had a good points day. The 17 and the 48 and the 8, we're ahead of all of them. Be smart for the rest of this race.
Smart thing to do is going to be clear these lap cars as fast as you can, and hopefully that Bill Elliott will take a little extra time to get around them. That's what he wants.
Lap cars are Mike Skinner in the 01, Robbie Gordon in the 31.
But you're right, BP. It looks like the 12 is having a little trouble on the race. I mean, just as good as anyone else, but he didn't have an advantage there. Now he's cleared them.
And Jeremy isn't in the 19. Man, we got him 4 wide going in down the backstretch.
That's not good.
And McMurray loses a spot to Tony Stewart. Jeff Gordon up to challenge.
That's 4th place there. McMurray sliding back. Gordon and now Rusty Wallace to put the pressure on him.
And by Newman getting that good start, he's about a second in front of the 2nd place car, because those guys had to battle those lap cars.
2nd place and 3rd place have cleared the lap traffic. Behind them, the Hornet's Nest still continuing. This is back for 5th place.
Whoa!
Tony Stewart there, tangling with a lap car. He wanted that bottom lane.
He got it.
Let's see how.
And Jamie McMurray was able to get back by Jeff Gordon.
Stewart by the lap car of Robbie Gordon. So now Tony Stewart in 4th place, a couple seconds behind leader Ryan Newman. Jimmy Johnson on the move. He and Rusty Wallace racing for a spot. That's 7th and 8th place. Rusty going to get pinned in behind the lap car.
Oh, that's frustrating. Frustrating when you can't go. You're racing for position here. The lap car doing everything he can, but
now Bill Elliott on Jeremy Mayfield for 2nd. He's got to get this pass pulled off quickly if he's going to have a shot at Ryan Newman, because Ryan's out there by a second and there'll be 10 laps to go. So Elliott through. Bill?
Walking back into the garage with Johnny Benson, are you okay, and what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's kind of hate for the guys, you know. Valvoline Pontiac's running pretty good and got fender damage a little bit when the 8 was trying to get his lap back, but I'm not sure what happened. I was going down the front stretch. Next thing you know, I'm reverse spinning the wrong way, and I'm not sure. Hopefully I got on TV that way. I don't know.
What happened with the 8, John?
I was just swerving, cleaning my tires, and they need to almost make a rule, figure out where everybody's getting their lap back, either the outside or inside. I didn't see him coming, and he'd have tried to hit me. He just didn't see me cleaning the tires, and he caught the right front there, knocking a fender in. So, I mean, that's my fault, I guess. Just one of those deals, you know. So hopefully next week they'll just say, okay, it's just the left or just the right. But outside that, the Valvoline Pontiac was good. Just one of those days, I guess. We've always ran good here, never finished.
42, looks like he's losing an engine, going down in a 1.
The left front tire rub.
I think he's rubbing.
Yeah, he's caved that in on somebody.
Yeah, I think he and Jeff Gordon made contact up in 3 and 4, I believe.
Boy, that's it. He's being black flag. Called to pit road.
Left front tire rub. Left front tire rub.
And now they've just seen that he's not smoking oil, and they've rescinded the black flag. Not engine smoke. You run that.
Hold your breath.
You run that at your discretion.
Exactly. Yeah, hold your breath is exactly right.
Meantime, Bill Elliott only fractionally faster than Ryan Newman that last lap. This one's going to be close. Marty?
The fuel saving has gone out the window for Ryan Newman with 11 laps to go. Just a few laps to go in this race. Ryan turned the fastest lap anyone has turned this entire race. Bill Elliott trying to catch him. You know, Dodge has 7 wins this year. All of them by the man he's trying to catch. Elliott desperately wants to get up to Ryan Newman's back bumper. Matt?
Jeremy Mayfield's dropped back to third before the restart. Kenny Francis asked Jeremy, did you save any fuel on that last run before the caution? Jeremy said, no, I was really up on the wheel. I don't believe I conserved any. Long pause. Kenny said, well, I feel like we should be okay, but if you can, try to conserve a little.
Mayfield back to a distant third now. It's getting closer up front. Bill Elliott took 0.3 of a second off Ryan Newman a lap ago. He took 0.2 of a second off him this time. Problem is, he's got 0.8 to make up in 6 laps. And once he catches him, then he's got to pass him.
And there goes the 42 McMurray by Jimmy Johnson. And I know that McMurray in 42 really wants to get to Jeff Gordon.
It's probably not going to happen. Kevin Harvick there in the mix as well. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th places. So there are those drivers racing for 7th, 8th, and 9th, while off of turn 2 already. Bill Elliott continues his determined pursuit of Ryan Newman. A draw last lap time-wise. That was big for Newman.
Look at right there. He's catching him getting into the corner, but Ryan's doing everything he needs to do. Marty.
Matt Borland gets a lot of credit for having the guts to make this call to get Ryan Newman out front, and it could be a big week for Matt. He's about 4 days away from having his 2nd child. In fact, Rusty Wallace's jet has been on standby this entire weekend. When his cell phone rang this morning when I was meeting with him, he thought that was the call. They have to go to Martinsville and test Monday and Tuesday. Rusty will have this helicopter there standing by. Matt said this morning, I don't know if I'm more nervous about having the baby or trying to win these races, but it could be a great week, and what a great present it would be to bring the baby into the world with a nice little win at Kansas.
Got cars running into trouble in different places. Dale Jarrett smoking, apron of turn 2. Sterling Marlin coasting, apron of turn 1. NASCAR trying to get those cars to turn off the track to one of the safety stations so we can finish the race under green. We are past the lap at which they'd use the red flag to try and ensure a full speed finish.
Or Sterling Marlin, I didn't see him smoke. I wonder if he ran out of gasoline.
I bet you he did, BP.
Could have run out of fuel.
Hope he doesn't stop on the track, because Bill Elliott's closing in on Ryan Newman, and this could be a thriller. 2 laps to go. If that 12 car hiccups at all.
Boy, you could, I mean, just watching that shot right there, he is catching the 12.
Matt, 40 car?
A heartbreaker for Sterling Marlin. They are out of fuel. Sterling said, I can't believe with all the computers and calculators, we still missed it.
They're coming to the white flag. Ryan Newman stopped with 78 laps to go, trying to go to the finish.
Clear by 5.
On fuel and tires, they got 12 laps of caution. Less than a mile and a half to go with Bill Elliott trying to track him down for the win. They've got one lap car they're running up on. It's the Joe Nemechek machine, damaged in an earlier crash.
Well, Bill is not going to catch him.
Nope.
Unless he runs out of gas.
He's going to try, though, isn't he?
Oh,
he ran it in there.
He almost crashed trying to do it.
Would you believe they've done it again? They've stretched the fuel. They've made the right strategy call. And for the 8th time this season, Ryan Newman is the first one to the checkered flag. Newman wins by 0.8 of a second over Bill Elliott. The Ray Evernham Dodgers take second and third. Jeff Gordon's bid for the third straight win at Kansas comes up short. He finishes 5th today. Your championship leader, Matt Kenseth, finishes in 36th place. And Marty, they did it again.
Yeah, I've said it once, I'll say it again. You're a brave man for making those calls, Matt.
Well, it's easy with Ryan in the car. I mean, he just does a phenomenal job. I mean, he's the best there is out there, and it's just it's fun to work with him because he's that good.
Ryan on the radio said we did not deserve this. When you feel that way too?
Yeah, I do actually, but you know, we'll look at the things we can do to get better as a team and try and win some more of these races a different way.
You got bigger things to do this week. Go home and have your second baby, okay?
That's right.
All right, Matt Borland headed home for a childbirth, hopefully coming up on Wednesday. That's their planned day. And the burnout continues. They always have enough fuel for the burnout, don't they, Alan?
Yep. Yeah, it's running fine. It's running fine.
9th NASCAR Winston Cup win in his 74th start. What an average. I don't want to do the math on that without a calculator.
Really?
It's good.
I was waiting for you to jump in there. You were, you know. But that's a pretty good average.
That's a very good average. Man, these guys are on top of their game, aren't they?
They really are.
Even I can figure out that's about 1 every 8 races, so a little better than 1 every 8. Let's hear from second place Bill Elliott. He led 115 laps today. Came up a spot short, Matt.
Well, congratulations by Sammy Johns, Bill. Another great run by the Dodge boys.
Well, we had a pretty good car, just couldn't get there, but that's the way it goes.
Let's slide over here so we don't get run over by Newman.
Whatever.
Marty?
Well, Jeremy Mayfield comes home a strong third. Did you know that Ryan was going to try to get you on that restart there, Jeremy, and trying to keep him behind him was a hard thing to do?
Yeah, he just was good. You know, we just came a little short and didn't have nothing for him there at the end. But my hat's off this whole Dodge Dealers UAW team, Dodge Dealers UAW Dodge team. It's done a great job today. You know, we missed our handle a little bit in the middle of the race and got a little too tight, and we got it better, but just still a little tight at the end, and you know, not enough to get it. But hey, we got another top 5 come on third, and it's pretty cool.
How about Evernham Motorsports, second and third today? Good strong run for those guys, Alan.
It was a Dodge kind of day here at Kansas as they swept the top 3 spots. Ryan Newman taking home the winner's trophy for an 8th time this season. You know, you talk about a team with everything going on. Fast car, fast driver, all the strategy calls. I mean, they make the right call every time, it seems like.
They've just blown my mind this year with the amount of laps they've been able to run on a tank of fuel. Someone has really figured out this caution flag and how much fuel they can save on these cautions.
Well, let's hear from the winner again, Bill.
And Ryan Newman, for the 8th time this season, climbs out of his car in victory lane, and the celebration is underway. And another impressive day for this driver and this team. Congratulations, your 8th win of the season. Tell me about the restart.
Oh, we just had to do what we could. Luckily, Skinner raced us hard there and got the other guys to slow up a little bit, both the 19 and the 9. But, you know, obviously, Bill, he had a fast car all day. Ours was good, but we got stuck back in traffic, used strategy to our advantage. I told the guys after the race we didn't deserve this one with our pit stops and everything else, but the guys did an awesome job to be able to fight back and had a good car.
Last few laps, are you looking out the windshield or in the mirror at the 9?
A little bit of both, just watching a fuel pressure gauge for the most part. Luckily, we made it, but just another good run for the all-tall Dodge.
How close you figure you were, Ryan?
Doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter, but everybody's going to be wondering. Your guys have been magicians with the fuel mileage.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a team effort totally, from the engine company to Matt and Mikey at the fuel strategy to me working the pedals, and just happy to be where we are.
Are you impressed? 8 wins this season?
Definitely impressed. You know, that doesn't come that often, but just got to thank the team for all the things that they've done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryan Newman back in victory lane. Marty?
And a strong day for Jeff Gordon. I got to ask about the contact with a 42. What happened there, Jeff?
Yeah, it was my fault. You know, I was going to move up to the top lane. He had a run on me, and we were just battling real hard for position. So, you know, I hated it because I slid up from him. He could have wrecked me, and he got into me, and it cost him a couple spots in the meantime. So, you know, I'm really glad to get this thing in the top 5, and I was fighting for everything it was worth. We were about a 3rd-place car most of the day. And, you know, we're just way too tight on the long run. So, you know, all of us that fell back there to get back up to 5th, couldn't be happier for this race team, for DuPont, Pepsi, and everybody on board. Great pit stop. So, you know, 3 top 5s in a row. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the 2014 back on track with those 3 top 5s in a row. Matt?
And Tony Stewart, after back-to-back 3rds, comes home with a 4th. Tony, I know you wanted to win, but this still continues to build momentum for this team.
Yeah, it's an awesome day for the Home Depot Monte Carlo team, and everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing. They've been working really hard to get this fuel mileage, and you know, Ryan Newman's crew's won him more races this year than he's won himself. So you know, they're doing a good job over there, and we're just trying to get caught up.
And track position's so crucial here.
Yeah, I mean, every time Ryan was around us, we passed him and drove away from him, and he ends up winning the race. And you know, 2nd week in a row the fastest car doesn't, or you know, not counting Talladega, the 2nd week in a row the fastest car doesn't win the race, but. You know, hey, you take them any way you can get them, and I mean, when you're on a roll like Ryan is, I mean, you savor it and take it. I mean, it pays the same, and he's the guy over there getting the trophy right now instead of us. So if I were him, I'd be real happy too.
Last 3 weeks, a 3rd, and a 4th. Dave?
Matt Kenseth, a tough day today, finishing 36. I'm sure it's one you would like to forget.
Yeah, it's been a tough week, you know, really. You know, it all started last week breaking an engine, and then this week I wrecked the first lap on the track. So, you know, ultimately it is 80 or 90% my fault the whole weekend. You know, we didn't really have our backup car prepared properly. It's something, you know, we need to address, and it kind of took some time off the track and got us in the back there. But when we did wreck, you know, I still don't even really know what happened. I saw Michael wrecking, and I went a little lower to miss him, and instead of just staying on the gas and going by him, I thought I'd slow up a little bit more in case he came down the track, and next thing I knew, the thing just spun out. I mean, I wasn't even going fast, so I'm kind of puzzled with what happened.
All right, learning from today, guys, but still the championship leader.
Check the final rundown on the Banquet 400, presented by ConAgra Foods. Remarkable 8th win of the season for Ryan Newman. Bill Elliott proving once again that the fastest car doesn't always win these races.
Boy, it's amazing how Newman and Borland, those guys, able to pull these things off race after race.
Elliott led 115 laps. The next driver, as far as most laps led, was 37. That's how dominant he was today.
All these cars still on the lead lap.
Junior back in 18th. It didn't help his championship bid any. Granted, he's going to gain some points on Kenseth, but what could have been today with a better finish.
There's the 24 cars will finish today's race on the lead lap. Robbie Gordon, the first car a lap down. He and Raines in green, and Kenny Schrader.
Matt Kenseth, 36th place. The lap 69 crash, the 43-minute repairs by his crew, came back out, picked up about 21 points by coming back onto the track and moving up from 43rd where he was to the 36th that he finished. Championship standings, there's the gap now, 259 points back to Kevin Harvick. The gap was 354 entering the day. Ryan Newman up to 4th, now just 364 points out of the lead. Is it possible? Could it be? Kenseth still got a substantial advantage.
But we've seen it happen before. In 1992, we saw Kowicki come back from 278 back to do it.
And there are now 6 races to go. Next weekend, Saturday, TNT. NASCAR Busch Series race from Charlotte, noon Eastern time. Next Saturday night, under the lights. 7 o'clock Eastern time on NBC. The UAW GM Quality 500. 2003 Gravity Games next on NBC. Ryan Newman's team played it just right again. They've taken their 8th win of the season in the Banquet 400 here at the Kansas Speedway.